Alright, we're live.
Welcome to Session 4 of our Earthfall GURPS campaign. I am Gigermann, today's GM.
Hi, Gigermann.
Yay. Do we have any,
Am I in the right group? I think I'm in the wrong group.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be in GURPS 302.
Well, you're here now.
Crap, I was supposed to be in 402.
I'll take generic tickets.
I don't know where I'm supposed to be.
Does anyone really? Alright, any character business we need to take care of before we start proper?
I don't think so. I spent the pointages that I spent last week. So I'm down to 1. Woohoo!
Is there any rules on post-creation acquiring of quirks? Sorry, not quirks, perks.
I don't have anything specific. What did you have in mind?
I didn't. I was just thinking maybe going through some perks and having a look.
Oh. I think that probably falls under the same. If it hasn't come up before, then it's probably okay to retro at it. I'm not so fussy.
Well, unless I find something, I'm good on character stuffs.
Nobody else. All right. Going once. It's 3 a.m. Do you know where your aliens are?
They're floating right over there.
Just occurred to me that combat was 11 rounds.
Yes, that is
That
true.
means we should all have taken a fatigue point, right?
That is also true, yes.
Yay for Phil.
Have we
being the BF.
recovered?
How long's it been since that's mattered?
Have we recovered said fatigue since we left or extracted that situation?
Not yet.
I think it literally just happened.
Let's get officially started here.
You should have cropped the picture to take the little girl out.
Eh.
What do you mean? What's wrong with Jules being there?
Point to Brian.
Having just survived the ranch explosion and a firefight with aliens, the Sci-Fi Book Club finds itself staring up at a massive alien insectoid vessel on approach. That was more of a mouthful than I expected. In more ways than one. So to answer the question, this is directly after last week, so there hasn't been any actual recovery of anything as yet. So yeah, you guys were startled by the bois.
I love that sound, by the way. It's so cool.
I know.
So take an extra fatigue or encumbrance level +1 fatigue for the fight.
Yes, 1 fatigue for the fight plus encumbrance. Is that how that worked?
Yeah, your encumbrance level +1. So if you are encumbered, you get more fatigued.
I figure most people weren't encumbered since they were... Well, actually, they were on the ground at the time. Yeah, whatever. They were encumbered by their shattered sense of security. Yeah. We really need to be able to play sounds through Fantasy Ground.
I wonder if it's on the cards for Unity, like a future release or something.
Well, I thought I'd seen some extensions that make it work.
Well, there are extensions that plug into, was it Sirenscape?
Yep. I've experimented with them. I was trying to make it work with when I was running Cons Ops, but I couldn't quite get it to cooperate.
I vaguely remember that.
But it would be cool if you could run within Fantasy Grounds, just like images and stuff, media files, including video and stuff.
Yeah, because the thing that I was trying to do was anytime somebody clicked on the rifle shot thing, or gunshot or whatever, it would play that kind of sound.
That would have been cool until it got annoying.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of annoying, yeah. So you guys look up at the sky and see this gigantic silhouette against the aurora. And
don't go that way.
It appeared ahead of you. I guess it lowered down in front of you as you guys were focused behind you, running away from things. And it's hard to say how high up it is, but it's not. It's fairly high up. But it appears to be moving slowly toward Cody, and B, it seems to be getting lower.
What the heck is so important about Cody? It's nowhere.
At this point?
Unless they're like going, oh, you know what? This is the only city in the world that has active PCs in it. We need to destroy it first, and then everything's fine.
Every time they try some crap like that in the ancient world, they kill all the babies so that they get the chosen one. It never, ever works. At any rate, I have assumed for the moment that you guys slammed on the brakes. And so you're basically watching this thing as it transits overhead and heads back in the general direction of the ranch. Any immediate reactions other than pissing yourselves?
Going a different way. Wait, who's driving? That's Mark, isn't it? Reese is the best driver.
I was trying to remember who was actually doing that.
I think Chandler's on the ATV.
Right, because you got a bug robot thing strapped to the back. It's like the bug is riding bitch.
Yep, my bitch is a robot.
I've only got an 11 in driving, so I would think I was in the back providing semi-security.
Well, I will allow you guys to sort that out.
Oh, neat.
In case that is incorrect.
A useful graphic.
That is a pretty useful graphic.
Well, it was kind of necessary given the situation.
Cool, we got Sarah Connor with us. Everything's fine. And Sam, that's nice.
Well, I could have thought of that, I suppose. Anywho, right. First reactions, specifically from Reese, is he just gunning the gas?
Well, if it doesn't look like
is he going to stay there? It doesn't look like it's coming at you. You don't seem significant to it.
Yeah, in that case, I'm just going to. It's that movie
Fight,
trope
flight,
where
or
everyone
freeze.
stops and kind of just sticks their head out of the car and watches it go overhead, and then that pause as it goes past, and then nope, we're gonna keep moving. So keep driving down the road.
you kind of half expect to hear screaming or some sort of exclamation from behind you back in the bed of the pickup, but you don't. Everybody is just being very quiet. You will observe the massive silhouette as it descends toward, as it gets closer, you realize, toward the ranch. And the big-ass hole that blew up next to the ranch. You will observe as it, as the flying craft that were there before are sort of encircled the area, and they part to allow it through.
Oh, darn. I was hoping they were going to attack it.
It is very difficult to see because it is dark, but as it approaches the crater, you can just make out the silhouette of what looks like a giant claw of some kind coming out of it.
As portrayed.
Not out of the ship, out of the ground, out of the crater.
What
Like it's gonna
the fuck?
What was that, Mark?
Like it's gonna shake hands.
You're really breaking up there.
Like it's going to shake hands.
Kind of like that, yeah. And in fact, as it lowers down toward the crater, it does, as far as you can tell, exactly that. The two link up, and the massive ship settles into the crater.
Oh my god, they're mating.
Reese, why are we still here?
Right.
Now, for the record, you are, as indicated.
Wow, what a lot of nothing.
There is a whole lot of not much out here. You basically, where you stopped, had two trails to follow. One taking you further south that follows the ridge around and will eventually meet up with Highway 120 going south. Or if you go left, you can go over the ridge there to McCullough Peaks. That's basically going into BLM land. There's like some herd management stuff up there. They got Mustangs out there and that sort of thing. And then there's a bunch of oil fields to the south of it. So there's a whole lot of nothing out there except horses and oil.
Well, heading towards the highway puts us in path to a couple different places that a couple different people are considering. One being the reservation, the other being kind of where this all started. West.
You just cracked up there.
At the tail end.
But I think we get the gist. All right,
Well,
so
I think first we just want to put as much freaking distance between us and whatever the hell is going on there as we can.
Agreed.
And I don't know how wounded the wounded people actually are. So, and I think the PCs are the only ones who are not wounded.
Well, stand by on that. So it is dark, and you guys are on back trails, and it is not good roads. So your speed in this truck is limited. It is not a 4x4. The ATV is probably fine. So
until that robot wakes up.
My questions to you are, which direction, which you've given, south, and how long / far are you going to go before you stop and reassess?
Probably at least until we get to Highway 120.
How far is that? If you follow the trails around,
There's a lot of dirt trail there.
directly it's 4 miles. I think it's going to be about 5 or 6 if you follow the trail around.
So which one of the survivor dudes was the survivor cop guy?
Washington is the black guy there. He is the cop.
Right.
He is also
I'm guessing he
very
is not.
injured.
Guessing he is not. Not the radio guy.
He is not the radio guy.
You should drop their names on top of the token.
Ooh, that's a good idea. You should do that.
So when you hover over it, it comes up with their names.
I gotta go in and type them all out.
It sucks
I
being a
would
GM.
do it, but I can't.
And you don't know their names yet.
And I don't know their names because I'm not really that proficient with everybody in this town.
We haven't made introductions. Although Reese does know Washington from the station. He is Cody PD. He's not sheriff's. But you guys all work in the same building. The rest of them were tag-alongs, people you picked up on the way. All right, so
Good.
how fast are you going to push yourself?
Well, I don't want to wreck this thing, so
you're going to try not to
pretty
fly her apart.
I'm not going to try and fly her apart.
Excellent. I will take a health check from both the truck and the ATV. The
I said
truck will
not
have
fly
10.
her apart. N-O-T, not fly her apart.
The truck will have 10. The ATV will have 12. There will be considerations for driving carefully.
I'm telling you, the robot just took over. It woke up and took over that ATV.
Interfaced with it. Borgified it. Assimilated the ATV.
But the truck is so old it can't do that. So that's why it's fine.
Let's see. Let's say you guys probably take 5-10 minutes to get there for 5 miles. That's going to be, that's not too bad.
So that's a failed roll for the ATV. What's that mean?
It explodes and you die. Roll up a new character.
You'll discover later that it has been a bit beat up by the whole explosion business and being buried and all that. It's probably got some dirt in places it's not supposed to.
So it needs some maintenance.
It will eventually fail on you. All right. So, as you guys continue on, you're not moving too fast, so you're not kicking up as much dirt. And you can see behind you as the big ship interfaces with the crater, for lack of a less awkward term. You see the lights from the other flyers that were around it, and a bunch of them approach the bigger ship and attach to it, as far as you can tell. Again, you're just looking at silhouettes, so it's hard to really see, but there are lights on them and that sort of thing. And a handful of them actually break off and fly in different directions. Look like they might be circling or whatever, maybe on a patrol of some kind.
So it's a bug orgy. Got it.
I wonder if the resemblance to Cthulhu was a design choice when making the Reapers.
I'm sure that it had an influence. Of course, it could have been an accident. And as I said, 10 minutes or so, you guys keep going south, and you reach Highway 120, or where the dirt roads lead onto it.
Another option is there's Monster Lake Ranch on the way. We could probably stop there too and get and assess these guys, and it might be someplace we can get a little rest or collect our thoughts.
So it's 3 a.m. Are we
Yeah.
going to be suffering from fatigue due to lost sleep?
Yep.
I'm not. I don't need to sleep.
That is not true.
Is absolutely true.
Okay, so this particular area where you are getting onto the highway, there's really not anything there. There is an embankment that goes off to the side if you wanted to get into Defilade or something, but other than that, it's just scrub out here. So, are you going to stop or get on the highway and keep going?
If we're starting to get tired, then Chandler's going to suggest we find somewhere to hold up.
Yeah, I like Mark's idea about the ranch thing. If nothing else, we can at least touch base with the people there.
Let's see. Monster Lake is that? Yeah. So that ranch right there is the Kanye West ranch.
So we need to go rescue Kanye West from this.
He is not in town.
He might be in town. Maybe that's what the aliens are actually after.
Maybe he is an alien.
In which case, no. Well, he did marry Kardashians.
That's true.
Oh, Kardashians. Got it. Sorry.
All right.
Could
so
still
that's
be a very weak veil.
Anybody have another plan other than that?
I do not have another plan at the moment. No. But then, like you said, it's 3 a.m. where the post-combat adrenaline has worn off, so we are all likely starting to crash.
It's not quite that bad yet, but it will be. All right, looks like 3 miles.
Chandler will make the comment, the last place or the last ranch we were at, and he'll sort of give a sorrowful look to Reese. He says that place was deliberately attacked. Do we really want to put ourselves in another place that might be a target for whatever these things are?
I have no idea what you're saying.
He's obviously tired.
I know.
Really? I think that these would be better than the other. Anything?
That sounded briefly better. Try some more speaking.
Test 1, 2, 3.
Seems
Test
okay.
1, 2, 3.
Sounds clear.
Until
Is it a wireless?
Speaking, and we goes.
Is it a wireless or wired mic?
It's wireless right now, but they're fully charged, so it just might be doesn't have the range as I thought. I mean, I lean back and
maybe.
I guess you guys lose me.
Do you need to evacuate or something like that? There's an alarm going off in the background.
Alarm going off.
Oh, it's my son playing Deus Ex.
All right. Right. Also worth noting, the that particular ranch is about a mile and a half away from the crater you guys passed
Oh,
on the previous day. But that's neither here nor there. Or is it?
I think we better hold up somewhere out of the way. Find a nice spot to get some rest that has comfort and concealment.
Yeah, the problem is there's nothing.
A, Wyoming has a whole lot of, not a whole lot. And
Yeah,
B,
that's why
you guys are not prepared for camping.
Yeah, that's why I'm thinking the ranch is probably, and they've got cabins, so we don't have to be at the main ranch. We just find one of the cabins.
Now, as far as the sleep situation goes, you basically you've not slept, so you have one fatigue point down for sleep. In about another 20 minutes or so, actually, yeah, another 20 minutes or so, you'd be down the second one. So you can go for quite a while before you're in any sort of danger of running into things because you're sleepy.
I don't know. Reese,
I'm
is
down.
it
Basically,
almost
you guys
half move and dodge?
You
Yeah,
guys
I'm
were. Oh, because of injuries.
No, fatigue.
No, yeah, I was down 5 fatigue until we said, oh, the combat lasted. Then that down to 4, or no, I was down to 4.
Right.
I'm down to 7 with that comment you just made, where we had 1 for lack of sleep. So,
Well, you're fit, so you basically need 20 minutes of rest to recover those. Is that right? Yeah. 20, 30 minutes.
but I mean, the only other option that we would have, I think, is if we kept going all the way to Meeteetse, but that also puts us in whatever might be attracted to a much larger settlement.
Well, Reese is driving at this point, so when he stops, the vehicle stops. Although the ATV will have to decide on his own. If you, under what conditions will you decide to stop? That is, if you see this or that.
I'm going to pull into, I'll probably pull off this, side, say, hey, there's a ranch right up ahead. We could probably find a cabin and, hide out there until we get some rest. Everyone here is exhausted.
So you
we also need to at least let the people know
before you get to the ranch.
Yep.
There is a river crossing right before you get to the ranch, right at the end of the lake there. It's probably a likely spot, and you could actually pull off and get under the bridge if you had to hide or something. So as defensible positions go, that's probably your best bet. Unless you continue onto the ranch.
Yeah, because those things, I mean, it still took them a while to get to where they were going. And I would assume if they're marching out here, it's going to take them a while. It's the flying thing that I'm more worried, but the ranch has places we could kind of hide the vehicle if need be. Who knows, we might even be able to pick up another vehicle being a ranch. So.
Well, I will tell you that there is a fairly serious fence on that ranch. At least there's a serious gate at the entry point. I don't know how serious the rest of the fence is. Probably just barbed wire over the rest of it.
Yeah, just go to the ranch. We need to at least let them know that crazy crap is happening, and just camping out in the middle of nowhere with no supplies is not going to be good for the injured.
Agreed. To the camp or to the ranch.
So you gonna stop at the first building you see, or there's several buildings in that complex? Some are bigger than others.
I don't know. I'm in the back.
Say again, Mark. And there's also the gate to consider.
Like serious gate. I'm not seeing a very serious gate. Looking at
Looks like it from above.
Oh yeah, from street view it looks like here. It's really it's just like one of those like wooden trestle things.
Okay. So you could plow through it, or maybe not. Now, just as a reminder, although there have been a lot of people that have died as a result of various goings on, this has not been a mass die-off, so there are still people out here who might be upset about crashing their fences.
Might be a little more upset about giant robots from space that are bugs.
They might forgive it afterward. So you are pulling off at the ranch. You're gonna go through the gate, or I guess you get out and try to operate the gate.
Yeah, we'll try that. I mean, I don't want to break the gate if we don't have to, but I mean the little fence line right next to it. I mean, it's probably more. It looks more like to keep animals than anything else.
All right, so you go down that road. Then after you pass through the gate, and there's a smaller house off to the left, and then ahead of you is the larger house, probably the actual ranch house.
Well, anyone here is going to have heard the giant explosion that was in Cody.
Quite possibly. But it doesn't look like anybody's here.
Uh-oh. I think they're all dead, too.
It is 3 a.m. on Monday, and if anybody works here, they probably haven't got here yet. Unless they live on premises.
All right. Well, once we're off the area, it's like I will dismount, do a quick security sweep.
Are you stopping the first house or the second house?
Oh, I don't know.
It looks like there's like a much bigger structure, or a little past the lake there.
There are 3 areas that I'm looking at. You got the little house that's the first on the road there. You got the larger complex, which is the second one, which is kind of at the corner. And then around that corner of the lake is what looks like probably the rest of the ranch with all the horses.
Yeah, I'm looking at the larger area where all the looks like more like work vehicles are at.
Is that the number 2 or is that number 3?
I think it's number 2 to you. It's like right at the eastern end of the lake, off Nelson Road.
Do you have an image of this so that our viewers can possibly see it?
Well,
yeah.
And we should go and ask the names of the people that are in the truck, because at the moment they're still not named.
Well, we haven't got there yet. Any minute now we're going to actually stop.
My name's John. Her name is Julie. No, wait, different Julie.
Yeah, I know you can add
her name is
on the fly.
Yeah, you just Type it in the thing, and then grab that and drop it on top of the picture.
Here, I'm dropping it into
Wait, what?
Discord.
Wait, what are we talking about?
All right, the image of the camp is in Discord, so you can grab it from there if you
That's
want.
the wrong Discord, dude.
I put it in both. I did put it in the wrong one earlier.
I'll delete the wrong one.
Damn it, I had that open.
Ah!
And I should have actually been pointing north when I did that. Not that it matters terribly. So I'm presuming you guys came in on that first
the third
entry.
one.
So you're talking third.
Yeah, third. Okay. Seeing that,
So
what you're seeing.
that's
I have
the little
no
house.
idea what you're talking about.
That's the little house I was talking about. That's the first structure you come to. The one with the place mark is what I think is the main ranch house, and the circled area over there is, I think, the actual ranch with all the horses and whatever the hell they do over there.
Then we need to go to Untitled Place Mark, which is a really weird name for a ranch, but I'm not gonna judge.
Ranches have weird names.
And I'm gonna kind of presume that they are awake there and like staring off in the direction of the now burning or glowing or whatever remains of Cody.
As I said, it appears nobody's home. So the owners of the ranch were out of town.
All right. Well, we'll park it. Do the.
We went to the
Rap
main
on the door?
building, didn't we?
Well, yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Whoever placed the icons placed them too soon. All right, now that we've established that. Okay, so
Gotcha.
I would say that at this point it is probably about 3:30. As you guys are pulling into the drive area around there, you guys hear a bunch of whump noises coming back from the direction of Cody. And as you turn around, you see
There it is.
trails in the sky with little, what you would guess are probably rocket flames coming out of the back of them. And there's probably 100 of these things. It's shooting off like fireworks and just going in all directions. There's no pattern that you can tell what's going on, but they're shooting fairly high altitude and just arcing out in different directions. So there's at least there are many of them pass over your head and just keep going. One might register that as an artillery barrage of some sort.
A soldier might.
A soldier might.
In fact, the soldier does register it. It's an artillery piece. Not sure why they needed to blow up a town to place it. There's plenty of nothing to install in Wyoming. So do we see when any of them impact anywhere? Like the horizon light up somewhere down the road?
You do see a few of them that seem to land closer than the others. So they're not targeted at a specific range any more than the direction. Some, and they seem to land like right over the horizon or something like that. You don't see an accompanying flash of any kind or hear an explosion. Hard to tell what actually happened.
possibly deploying additional assets because they're totally looking for me.
Do they move slow enough that we could try and see them with binoculars?
Yes.
That's a
you
good
could possibly
point.
track one.
We have several binoculars in the group.
So Damien's going to try and do that.
With the binoculars, you can see that there is an object at the front of it. Wow. Yeah.
I'll lock onto that thing and track it.
You happen to catch one right as it was passing over, is probably the closest one. And there's definitely an aerodynamically shaped object of some kind, but not long like a missile. And there is a flame shooting out the back, propelling it, and it is leaving that smoke trail, just like you would expect some kind of rocket-based artillery. But other than that, it doesn't look like anything you recognize.
All right, so besides describing it as best he can, he's not familiar with artillery or anything like that, so he wouldn't be able to give that generalization, but then he'll hand the binoculars to someone else to have a look.
Yeah, if Heinlein will be able to see it and also not know what it is, although in his case that is more telling.
Do they look like they're big enough to house troops, like people, or is it more artillery missile size?
Well, since you got the crit, I would say that you can tell it is large, like a very small vehicle
So
size.
like a drop pod.
One might register it as like a drop pod, perhaps.
Can we identify any of the trajectories or impact points that were along our path towards where we were expecting to go?
There were enough of them going in enough directions that there were several that were definitely going in the direction that you're going. Whether or not you would meet up with the impacts is another matter, but then again, you don't know who else might be firing them.
We're not witnessing them actually returning to the ground, are we? We just see them fly overhead.
No, you didn't see any land within sight.
I just noticed you spelled my name wrong in the Benny's note.
I did. Damn
it's EI, not IE.
Well,
so my presumption here is the thing that just landed. That's their landing spot, and they're using that as their breaching point, and then they're just sending these things out to establish or engage additional locations.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking, putting troops on the ground kind of thing.
Right. And it's just unlucky for us that we happen to be at, location 0.
Unlucky indeed.
Why do I blame John for this?
I know.
Speaking of John, as he's observing these things, John recalls some of Grandfather's stranger stories in the past about the locusts and serpents, and specifically the part about them riding on a beetle that towers over the tallest of trees, as he said it. And you had always thought that was some kind of white man allegory thing back in the day, but now you're like, there was a beetle that towers over the tallest of trees just there, and it was flying in.
And we've seen locusts. Haven't seen serpents. Need to get to the reservation so I can talk to my grandfather. Oh yeah, we should probably also have our pseudo medic person like check out the injured.
Speaking of all that,
Yeah, I can do that.
so the survey is, you got yourselves. So are any of the actual PCs injured at this point? I know Heinlein was.
Damien is.
Yeah, but
Right.
he wrapped me up and I was fine.
And you were taken care of. James was taken care of. And so it was
I am
Damien
uninjured.
still down hit points?
Yes, he's down 1.
Okay, so he's just bruised up a little bit. So, the others present. You have Curtis Washington, who, as I said, was Cody PD. Straight shooter, from what you can recall. At this point, he has his head wrapped up over one eye. He took a nasty headshot. And he's okay, he's stable, but obviously he's a little less than 100% and not going to be playing action hero today.
He should be fine.
You
Put some
have
dirt in it. He's terminal. He's gonna die.
You have Robert Little, who is got a
Tragically,
broken arm, probably.
mortally wounded.
But he has been tended to. He will probably mend in spite of Heinlein's ill wishes.
He won't.
Heinlein will have noticed at this point that Robert has not paid a great deal of attention to James.
Well, that's good, because I'm going to get a shovel and beat him to death with it. Not James, to Robert.
You have Sandra Hart was
that's a
one
lie.
of the,
That's Sarah Connor.
One of the civilians you picked up on the way. Actually, one of them that was in one of the other cars that followed you out to the ranch. She took a nasty hit to the leg, like a big-ass splinter or something, and her leg is currently out of operation, but it is temporary. It will mend eventually.
She's been
providing
warning
she doesn't get shot
everybody
in the
about
head.
About this.
And Shane Reddy, who has not been injured really, except for superficial cuts and bruises in this whole process, and it's frankly quite lucky that he's alive. And that's your extras.
He seems familiar somehow. I don't know why. Can't put my finger on it.
And yeah, so they're all staring off into the sky, watching the fireworks like everybody else. And
yeah, like I said, though, I'm gonna be looking for a shovel so I can go find some place and start digging a grave.
Where would you find one? I guess you'd start
It's
going over to the
ranch.
house and start. Yeah, there's got to be something around here somewhere.
They have like a barn and stuff.
Okay, Highland wanders off.
They got
I got to do a security sweep.
James wanders off with him.
We need to stick together.
What are the others of you doing in the immediate future?
Damien is going to go to Jules to get him to bandage up his...
That's Louise now.
Well, Louise, to bandage up whatever injury Damien got. Though I don't remember exactly how he got it. Oh, no, it was from the being buried.
I'm gonna sit there and pull that creature or whatever is off and kind of give it a look over.
It is still dark. There, actually, you guys pulling up into the driveway probably kick off some electronic or some motion sensor lights.
They have power? They have electronics?
They may have a Jenny over here.
Nice.
While he's looking over the thing, I'm going to poke it.
So you're poking at the thing too.
It comes alive.
Bang, 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 bang.
All right. Well, then first off, I will have the four of you make perception checks.
4.
That is the 4 PCs.
Why is it perception checks?
Wow.
I mean, if I roll really well, I'm cool with that.
To
Davies
notice,
rolls a 16 and makes a 0.
it's to notice the aliens coming down the road.
Why do you think me and the son are going for the horses? Oh, wait, did I say that out loud? My bad.
All right. Well, as Heinlein was about to wander off and didn't end up completing it, Burroughs and Heinlein both notice that as they look back, that the thing on the back of the ATV is actually twitching a bit.
That thing is moving.
It has apparently pulled something into its hand and is attempting to manipulate that thing, whatever it is.
Gosh, I wonder if it's a grenade.
It's no. If it was a bomb.
Did we
I
not
drop a
murder
missile
this
and shoot it in the
thing
head.
excessively?
Well, it's hard to say. You guys were shooting lots of things.
But I thought we actually, after it was dead, we made sure it was dead. We extra murdered it.
Frickin' cyborgs, man.
How would you check its vitals?
I don't know, if it had heads and stuff, we would put bullets into its head till it had no
Well,
heads.
we're going to be putting bullets into its head again.
Yep.
Suddenly,
Everyone get
gunfire.
back. Blah, 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 blah. And then
From at least 2 of you. Some of which are inevitably going to impact the ATV. I will have both of you, if you are shooting reflexively, make a guns roll. We'll just crit check you.
Oh, it's a straight up guns check.
Yeah.
guns. Oh, same.
Sure about this?
Same. No. Yes.
You're not sure, but Jules may not have actually hit it. Suddenly gunfire, and the thing stops doing whatever it was doing.
And it rolls, and whatever it is going beep, 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 beep.
The thing it had in its hand does drop to the ground. It doesn't beep or anything, though.
Does it look like a
I picked it
grenade?
up.
Would you know if you saw it?
I'm curious and impulsive. I'm going to pick it up.
Give me a fright check.
It's severed head.
Sweet. You're gonna.
You
lose
scream
it.
like a girl, because it's a bug almost the size of your fist.
Ah,
The bug was manipulating a smaller bug.
It's bugception.
You might come to that conclusion. Yes, that the bug was manipulating a smaller bug. Yes.
and whenever these kinds of things happen, it just bugged me.
Actually, these things are like the aliens in Men in Black. that's the real bug. The big bug is just the vehicle.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, so it's a smaller bug. It's how big is the smaller bug?
It's a little smaller than your fist. What would I compare that to?
Because I'm looking at something for John's impulsiveness.
I guess it probably is grenade sized, sort of.
So yeah, he's gonna probably think grenade, not potential, because the player is thinking that could be some sort of weird buggy med pack, or it could be a hey, come get me, help thing that you send off and it flies back to home base or something. But he's probably
knows?
thinking grenade. So how is he gonna react to that?
Boot.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah, he's
Out of his
probably
way.
gonna soccer kick it away, half expecting it to explode and take his leg off, and possibly kill Burroughs at the same time. So then everybody's like, "Well, crap! There's 2 PCs down. One of us gets to play Shane, and the other gets to play Robert."
Well, after that little bit of excitement
Yep, soccer kicking it away.
and ammo expenditure,
Into
yeah,
the lake.
you have no idea where that went.
Into the lake.
Actually, no, this is Heinlein, so he kicks it and it hits one of those lights and the light goes out.
And then it bounces off the light and rolls up underneath like the a fuel drum, and we just don't notice it.
And then it does explode and kills all of us. See you guys next week.
You discover that in the process of all that, Little has found somewhere well covered, very far away from the current position.
Yeah, he's not
He
even
may
in
have
my.
he may have dove head first over something to get
I would
away.
give him more crap if my second instinct wouldn't have been for a grenade to go diving for cover as well.
And Shane says, "Point, goal."
Wow, he's a very happy fellow after all of this craziness.
It's a defense mechanism.
Yeah, it's coping.
The bug
I'll
art,
crack at any moment.
is that made by you, or was that lifted from somewhere?
Yes, that is a painting of mine. It's sort of 30 years in the making. Literally. Or actually more than that, depending on how you look at it.
Weirdo.
But never mind that. So, that happened.
The thing
What
didn't
happens
explode?
after that? No, it did not explode.
Then I'm going to go investigate it.
So you're going
I'm gonna
back
tell
after
James
the
to
thing you
stay.
kicked away?
Yeah, because like I said, he thought it was a grenade, so he's trying to get it clear. If it doesn't actually explode, then it's like, oh, that wasn't a grenade. I wonder what it was.
All right. So,
And then
And then it explodes.
Well, we'll start with Heinlein since he already said so. Heinlein is going off to find whatever that was. What's Chandler doing?
Was he witness to all this stuff?
Yeah, he didn't
Definitely
get
heard
very
it.
far.
Then he'll go to investigate, find out what happened, and then go looking for the bug thing.
So he goes after Heinlein.
Yeah.
All right, Jules.
I'm gonna go look for the bug thing. It scared the snot out of me, but I still want to know what it is.
Which, now, are you talking about the quote-unquote grenade thing?
Yeah, the tiny punted one.
Okay, so everybody's going off to go find that.
I'm not. I'm gonna, while they're all doing that, and I'm gonna poke the alien thing a few more times and see if it twitches.
James, stay with the dog.
All right, so the three of you go off looking for wherever it was that Heinlein kicked that thing, and you will recover it sometime later. It has not exploded and does not appear to be active in any way. You will also decide that it seems like it's dead. It's not really doing anything. It doesn't seem alive. Meanwhile, Reese is poking the bear, and you will
It's not a
determine a few
bear.
things. Do you have Naturalist?
Who, me?
Or
No.
yeah, or something potentially appropriate.
Well, Damien does.
Yeah, well, you're
Yeah,
not there
John
yet.
does as well, but he's not nowhere as good as Chandler.
You got veterinary. Yeah, it's pretty weak, and you're not that great at it. And
Well,
it's
hold
mostly
on, do I have
canines.
You can look at it and go, yeah, this is a bug, as you're pulling cybernetic parts off.
Yeah, I don't see anything else that really stands out. So you're just you're looking it over, and a number of things will occur to you as you are. Now it is still dark, so it's kind of hard to see it, but you got some lights around there. Actually, you got a working flashlight too, I thought.
Yes, I do.
Okay, so you can at least use that. So, aside from the insectoid appearance that you initially registered, which everybody got that, it is very clearly not normal insect-like. It's, how to explain that? It's like it's got this rubbery skin over the carapace, so it's unusual. It's not a normal insect-based creature that you can tell. The other thing is that it's very clearly got artificial parts tacked on, like plates bolted on in places, and it's clearly got some kind of sensor grafted to its head in place of one of its eyes, which are compound eyes. The antenna have been replaced with some kind of metallic antenna, that sort of thing.
What kind of stupid sci-fi reality have we stumbled in?
Dear, we live on a spaceship.
You will also notice that there are more of those smaller bug things on like a belt area. They look like they're sort of grabbed onto it. They also don't look very active, like they're not alive necessarily.
Hey, we found that thing.
Yeah, there are
About the
more of
time
them
they
on
come
to-
back
on
and
this
found the thing. There are multiple kinds of them. Not very many, but there are some.
They look different from each other.
All right, we've
Now,
got grenade and flashbangs and
somebody... yeah, somebody give me a universe roll.
how
All right.
appropriate. Did
Yeah,
you see that Chandler did the naturalist as well?
right. I'll get back to him in a minute. Yeah, when you had recovered that thing, it was broken, and it may have contained some innards or something like that, but it's all spilled out all over the place.
Wow, that seems bad.
Right. So now you are collected back at the creature.
And
Resume.
I'm going towards the horses.
Okay, so
on,
Heinlein is
James.
going back for the shovel. Had enough of all that. Anybody else following Heinlein, or is everybody else focused on the alien autopsy?
Tell me what you can figure out about that, Jules. I'm going to get these people inside this house. Help these people inside.
Jules?
Get
Why would
comfortable.
you ask Jules to do that?
Because he's a doctor.
Yeah, but this is a bug.
He's a medic. I don't know.
Hey, Chandler, tell me what you
he's
find out about
fooled.
that thing.
Damn it, Jim!
I can do
I'm
something.
a doctor, not an entomologist.
I have.
Well, I'll let those two figure it out while I help the rest in, and get them comfortable.
I have biology, biochemistry, and physiology human. If either of those can work or be defaulted.
It doesn't look human to me.
Well, no, but if it's some other, but it's with me having physiology, if I can default physiology to, bug. The physiology bug, rather.
So Reese, the building is locked up. Are you going to fix that? Or are you going to just chill wherever you are?
Well, is it got one of those like windows near the door, or
if you want to break in, you can break in.
Yeah, I'll check and the doors. I'm not going to do this dumb thing, kick it in to find out it's unlocked.
Alien invasion emergency. I'm going in.
Well, and we will knock on the door and say, "Hey,
alien emergency."
You announce yourself as sheriff's department.
Yeah. Yep, sheriff's department. We have an emergency. Is there anyone home?
Yeah, nobody answers.
Wait a few minutes. Say the same thing. We're coming in. Please, yeah. We mean no harm, but we have an emergency. We have injured people. And after this, if still no response, then I will force the door.
All right. So you will force your way into the house. No big deal. It's a nice house. Reminds you of your ranch house, your parents' ranch house.
The one that got blown up.
The one that just got blown
poor
up.
Parents. Remember them?
Only this one was
Sniff.
like $22 million. And the power is not on. Looks like those motion sensor lights are probably on battery power or something like that. But you can work your way around.
You're totally going to find a thing with a bunch of Kim faces.
Back to the
'Cause,
autopsy
aliens.
crew. So Damien, with his naturalist, is a little more familiar with insects. And what you see is the combination of a lot of different characteristics of insects. So it's like it's a hybrid of a lot of different things, or at least if you're comparing it to terrestrial insects. As I said before, it doesn't fully fit terrestrial insect physiology.
So you're saying these likely aren't Chinese?
Probably not Chinese.
What about North Korean?
Maybe. No, they would have eaten them.
You're saying they're Canadian?
Do they have like insect blood, or do they have some like alien physiology?
It does bleed.
So we can kill it.
It is kind of off-white from what you can tell, and it's very thick. It's not as runny as human blood. but more like what you would expect from an insect. You can see things that appear to be bolts, like there are subdermal plating or other things implanted. You can tell that the shoulders, the shoulder guns, are actually stunted arms. So it actually does have 6 limbs. And those stunted arms appear to be holding on to another separate creature, for lack of a better word.
Does the other creature seem to have like arms and legs and stuff, or is it?
Well, that's kind of why you would call it a creature, because it looks like it has little nubs like that might have had legs, or they were either removed or they never had them, or like they were atrophied or something. It looks like it may have had eyes, but it's weird. It doesn't look like it would ever have been functional. It looks deformed.
So, as Damien divines all this information, he'll let everyone else know. So he'll be talking out loud as he's discovering stuff.
Heinlein can give me a scrounging roll.
Okay, I'm also in the process of researching Arapaho burial / funeral things, because the shovel may not be appropriate. I'm
True.
not sure.
Oh, was there
I
time
ain't
for
fine crap.
Jules to bandage Chandler?
Sorry, say again?
Was there time
yeah.
for Jules to bandage Chandler?
Well, yeah, the two of you were there doing the autopsy, so he could probably wrap you up while you're there. Now, was there a time limit on the bandaging?
I keep forgetting. There used to be at least in 3rd edition, there was the golden hour that you had to do all this within for first aid.
Let's see.
But I don't think that exists in 4th.
First aid. Takes 1 minute. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, but that's for bleeding. We don't care about that. I am not seeing anything about a time limit except for the bleeding. Hey, well, yeah, okay. Until I see otherwise somewhere, we'll assume that you're cool to do first aid. So he can make a roll.
Heal me, Seymour.
And since he can't do less than 1 point, I won't bother rolling for the recovery.
Unless he critical fails and hurts me.
Unless he crit fails. You
Yay.
are okay. The other guys that were injured have already been treated, so there's nothing further to do with them at the moment. They have to recover naturally.
So it looks like the Arapaho did bury their deceased.
They bury or do the cairn thing with the rocks and whatnot?
With the rocks.
Well, there are plenty of rocks around here.
Well, yeah. So once he can't find a shovel because I rolled like crap, then it's gonna likely go off apart with just James and take Julie's body. Oh, hey, yeah, I can actually do that. Is that right?
Yeah. If anybody was around to be impressed by it, you would have successfully not offended them.
Well, I was being taught.
Suppose James knows enough about it to know that you're doing it right. Looks right to him.
Oh, he's going to be assisting.
Mr. Little is inside trying to find a liquor cabinet or a bar or something, and he has succeeded. And he is not sharing.
Once everyone's settled in, I'll probably go find Heinlein and assist, or just sit, and watch, and, reflectively do what I can.
Because
Let's
you're probably
see.
grieving over your parents too.
All right.
True.
Which is lots.
This
of
is
people.
this is probably all the funeral you're going to get.
Exactly.
Give me a D6.
Who?
You.
Me?
Okay, well, same either way. So it's going to take you 2 hours to assemble the cairn and do the ritual. You have to piece it together a little bit, but you can make it work. Some of the others will look on and be respectful. Even Little at some point will come by with his booze and pour one out.
Cool. For a year following a death, close relatives maintained mourning behavior by appearing unkempt and withdrawing from public life. That means I'm going to have to stop shaving.
Okay, so given that you've got a couple of hours, so Reese will have
Good Lord.
recovered
That
his
means
fatigue.
it's like 5-ish.
Let's see. Yeah, does that make it 5?
2 hours, and we were at 3:30 when we arrived, so it's
It's
about
going to make it
5:30.
6 because there was 30 minutes of running around before he really got here. We'll call it 6 even. So that means you're about 30 minutes from sunup.
Once we're done, I'm going to definitely mention to Therese, it's like, I need to get to the reservation.
If you think it's safer there than here, then I think we can make that happen.
I don't think he's going to say why he needs to go there yet, because it might just be a complete coincidence that his grandfather's stories were awfully similar to this stuff, because history rhymes and all that.
When you're bringing this up to Reese, are you taking him off to the side to talk about that, or are you discussing that openly?
I have no reason not to discuss it openly. It's like, I'm just saying, yeah, I need to get to the reservation.
So Robert, deep into his bottle, will exclaim that there's nothing out there. So the hell's the point?
Robert, shut up.
Wash will say, well, if there's nothing out there, there's nothing for the bad guys to go after, so there's some safety there, potentially. Sandra.
Sarah.
That's gonna get me more. I'm
For
gonna
some
end up having to
reason,
change her
we
name.
keep calling her Sarah.
Sandra says that her husband was captured and she saw it happen. So, she'll describe what happened, that as the bug things were coming after everybody, they were just laying waste, and a lot of people got hit with whatever goop that they were shooting, and it hardened really quickly, and he was unable to move. And at that point, she had gotten basically dragged off, and couldn't stay to rescue him. So she doesn't know what happened, but she thought she saw some of these things being carried off. Therefore, she really wants to go back and mount some kind of rescue effort. Little is very against the idea of going back to Cody, as is Shane. And Wash sort of says, well, that's a bad idea. I mean, we're not equipped to go in there and face that. But if we could recon the area, that wouldn't hurt. And maybe be able to, if we can get back up, maybe able to point them in the right direction. Wash will also say that he was kind of hoping the military would be able to mount some kind of resistance. His expectation would be probably Fort Carson would be the best bet, nearest Army infantry unit.
Which way is that?
That is
From
in
here?
Colorado. So it's quite a distance away.
It's southish.
But knowing that Seattle got hit, Fort Lewis seems like a bad bet. On the other hand, Denver may have been hit also, so...
Well, we need more
Carson's-
intelligence before we make any decisions. So we have no idea what the size of this is.
Shane will say, well, I don't know about you, but I think we need more guns.
I do
And-
agree with that.
And I happen to know a guy in Jackson that he's one of those prepper types. He's got a bunker, and he's got a room full of guns, like machine guns and rocket launchers and all kinds of shit.
How well do you know this guy?
What's Jackson?
I helped install satellite system in his bunker because I worked for the company at the time.
So if he's all freaked out and paranoid, he's just as likely to shoot you as the rest of us?
Yeah, but I like.
Oh, come on. We're all on the same team.
Where's Jackson at?
It's west
Jackson is to the
of
west.
West of the reservation. So
It's
if we were to
basically at the
swing by,
lower. It's at the lower end of the Yellowstone Park.
we could go visit your father,
Grandfather.
grandfather, and then still be en route to Jackson if we wanted to. That's
Okay,
actually-
I found Jackson.
That's not a bad idea.
Wow, my red doesn't really show up very well on that map, does it? Yeah, and at least the Sandra's like, yeah, we'll need more guns.
She
What if-
is understandably worried about her husband's condition, as he has a high blood pressure problem, and if he doesn't get his meds, he may not make it. But she does recognize that this is kind of a no-win situation.
Yeah, so I say we hit the res, locate grandfather, ideally, then swing over and get some guns from our friend in Jackson, presuming Jackson isn't a crater.
Yeah, you're kind of rolling the dice wherever you go in that regard.
We need to go through this place as well to see what we can use as appropriate.
You know, there might be a working vehicle in the farm or area. There looks like a work area. And horses.
That's better for off-road. Might be fuel. There might be guns.
Yep. So we can
Need
kind of
food, camping supplies. I
Might
wish
be
I
a
hadn't
small-
lost my bag.
The nice thing is you can resupply with whatever's here. I mean, if this is a kind of a resort type ranch, it might have like a little one of those general stores.
I'm not sure what sort of ranch this is in that regard.
Let me see. It's got a website.
Does it? All right. Well, it sounds like everybody's on the same basic page, unless a couple of you want to speak up.
Damien wants to get some rest.
That is another thing to consider here: is how long do you stay here before you leave?
Proper sleep.
Now, if you get a proper sleep, you're going to be leaving at night, which might be okay, but it might not be.
It's only 8 hours that we need.
Technically, you'd need 9 by the book, anyway.
JP King Ranch.
Say what kind of ranch it is?
A ranch.
Well, there are different kinds of ranches.
It's a ranchy ranch.
Yeah, this is just a real estate thing.
Yeah, it is real estate.
Yeah, it's not terribly important. We'll assume they do horses here, and could be open to the public, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, it's
They might
open to
do
the
that sort
public
of thing.
now.
Yeah, well, everything's open to the public right now.
Also, if it's during the day, we'll have to see if anybody's actually going to show up.
Seems unlikely. Given that anybody who worked here probably lived in Cody.
Huh. It does look like it might have like a general store. I have a barber, maybe?
Huh. Well, why the hell not?
They have llamas.
Oh, well. All right then.
And buffalo. Too bad this place is too close to Cody.
All right. So if I am correctly understanding things, if everybody's on the same page, you plan to rest for 8 hours at least, and then leave in the general direction of the reservation.
Yes. And then swing west towards Jackson to get guns. Unless we find
Potentially
out
continue on to
that
Jackson.
Unless we find out that my grandfather has a cave full of guns somewhere.
Who
Yeah.
knows?
Yeah, so rest, scrounge for whatever we can grab. Hopefully, maybe find another vehicle. If not, hook a horse trailer and grab a few horses too.
So we're becoming horse thieves?
Well,
I'm okay with this. It's like old times.
well, it's slightly earlier than I would typically like, but I think now is probably as good a time as any to take an intermission.
You're a slacker.
So we will take an intermission.
That's awfully quick.
Okay, we're back.
Yay! Okay, so. Oh, hold on. Let me check the check my timeline real quick. So, you are going to sleep first and pack up later? Or
No.
reverse that?
Reverse that in case we have to leave very quickly.
Bail, yeah. Exactly.
All right, then. One of you will make a universe roll for what you can find here. And that will be, well, or he will roll ahead of me.
Well, you just
All right.
said make a universe roll and one person.
Well,
so
I did. I was going to choose who was going to roll it, and somebody rolled it ahead of me.
Sorry.
But okay. I honestly don't care. You start to raid the facility for supplies, and will find that it is stocked, and pretty well stocked. So you've got food, you've got medical, you've got fuel out there somewhere. I think I would make a separate one for vehicles specifically. So Reese can make that one. Okay. I would take that to mean that there is a functional truck of some kind.
Did it survive the EMP?
Well, if it didn't survive the EMP, it would be it would not be functional. The question is, how new is it? Let me see. You know what? Throw another one. That'll be Phil.
Of course, it's going to be me. Because I'm going to roll like crap. See, it's
So it's probably late 90s, 2000s, early 2000s.
It's a Humvee.
It's an older truck, but it managed to get through the EMP apparently. So there's probably some electrical issues, but it'll work. And it's got a full tank.
Did we manage to get our sleep?
You were doing this before the sleep? Unless you were not helping.
Well, Damien will help. If they find stuff, Damien will mechanic it, check it over.
Okay, so they'll ID that truck, and they found keys, and it started up, so they'll go fetch you, and you can look it over and make sure it'll work, and it looks like it's going to make it. And
did we notice?
probably longer than the truck you're in currently will.
She's in better
You can't
condition
take them
than
both.
she's in better condition than the current truck.
Speaking of conditions of vehicles, would Damien know his vehicle was running ragged?
Sorry, say again.
Would Damien be aware that his ATV was running a little rough?
Yes, he would be aware that it was making some funny vibrations and weird noises. Probably nothing that can't be fixed, but something that probably will require some attention.
In that case, he'll also have a look over it. Clean out some of the dirt from the air filter and whatever the issue is. He'll look it over.
Kick the dirt out of the tailpipe and whatnot. All right, you have maintenanced. It'll take a little while for that. So everybody else gathering supplies. Sandra and Wash are both going to be like, we need painkillers. Lots of painkillers. So they'll raid the medicine cabinets, wherever those are.
You'll get 2 each, and you will like it for the next 4 hours.
Anything else specific that we need to check on?
Ammunition count.
Ammunition count. That is an excellent question.
Of course it is.
Okay. Since we haven't actually been bean counting that sort of thing, but you guys picked up whatever spare ammo you could before you fled the former ranch. I guess let's have a universe for each of you to see what you have left.
That's about right.
Yeah.
The actual shooter types.
All right. Well, looks like you guys with the poor have maybe a magazine and a half. Those of you with the neutral have a couple of mags. Did Damien actually have a weapon?
He didn't have a weapon, but he picked up one of the rifles from the cops.
Okay, so you got a couple of mags for that. So between the lot of you, you may have some extra if, for example, Jules or Damien aren't going to be shooting as much. This is the others in the group currently are in similar straits. Wash has a couple of mags for his AR, and there are a couple of hunting rifles among the rest of them. They've got some ammo left. So if something were to happen, you'd maybe get a fight or two out of it. Let's see what else. I will grant you at least 1 jerry can of fuel beyond what's in the vehicle already. And since I have no idea what that vehicle is, I don't know what kind of range it has.
Is there fuel on the ranch? I imagine they have a big fuel tank here somewhere.
I don't know, but I'm gonna say since we determined it is stocked well enough that you'll have at least some extra.
So then we'll fill up all the vehicles, and then look for some jerry cans and stuff, and make sure they're full as well.
Now
So
you
it's
plan
a
on
ranch truck.
It is a ranch truck. So you're planning on
So-
keeping the old beater?
Till it dies.
Then
Most
we
of
can use
the
it for
things
parts.
most of the things that I see online for the, quote, like ranch trucks are the kinds with flatbeds like this.
Well,
Which makes sense because
would
you're
make
going to be
sense.
throwing stuff back there. So the question there is like, is it using diesel or is it using unleaded?
Yeah, the bigger the truck is, the more likely it's going to be using diesel.
Yeah, most of these that I'm seeing do seem to be using diesel.
Which one? Which roll was for the vehicle? They were both good.
Yep.
So what did we want? Did we want not diesel?
Well, I
Diesel
wanted
makes
an
sense
infantry
because-
fighting vehicle, but I don't think that's good enough.
Yeah, that would have been beyond very good.
Like, why do they have
Unbelievable.
one of these?
But weird shit happens.
Long term, we probably want diesel because it's a lot easier to make biofuels.
Well, are you thinking that long term?
No.
And
And
the ranches were going to have diesel-powered tractors, et cetera, so...
and
That's
from a
true. There will
character
be
point of
diesel
view,
on the premises.
Damien wouldn't even be thinking about that.
So diesel it is. Makes sense to me. Although the 1500s are generally unleaded. I think it's the with the Rams. I think it's like the 2500 is where they shift into diesel.
Well, since you got good on that, I will let you pick.
Infantry fighting vehicle.
Beyond that,
What's wrong with an infantry fighting vehicle?
so if you take one that's got diesel, you'll have to remember that the beater that you came here in is not diesel
And it's likely about to die anyway.
and is possibly about to die. But you won't be able to share. And I'm presuming the ATV is also not diesel.
Well, to make things more interesting.
All right, then. So you got a
Well-
big truck.
Horse trailer? Horses?
There are definitely horse trailers here in multiple varieties.
Are there any horses, or did they all get eaten? Inexplicably.
Well,
Oh,
let's
llama.
see. I would guess
Jules
that
can ride it.
they're not obviously not going to take the animals out of the ranch, so they probably got people that come in and out of here to take care of them.
We are
Obviously-
turning into horse
Consider-
thieves.
Obviously, they're
Well,
not going to
something to
show
consider
up.
is, if we're assuming that, people are going to have a real hard time getting either, if they're even coming back here, if we don't let the horses run free.
Oh,
they're
I
just
was
going to
I was
overcome starve.
absolutely planning on impulsively opening the gates and letting them run free as we were leaving.
Well, you would not. You'd get a nod of approval from Reese in that regard, because I don't think leaving the animals all pinned up is going to be conducive to their health over the long term.
And then after I fall off a cliff into into the water, one of them will come along and save me.
You feed me, and I will save you.
Sandra will approve. She's apparently a rancher, worked cattle on the northwest side.
So your
TP, I think it was. No,
truck
Southwest.
overhead is now wrong because we needed another one.
Yeah, well, that's a whole nother thing. Let's see, what have we covered? Vehicles, we got fuel, we got food, plenty of that.
If we've got plenty of food or fuel,
How long do you want to cover for food and that sort of thing? Because there is a limited amount of space.
As much as we
terribly
can carry. Until the limited space is all spaced up.
I'm thinking at most a week. Because if we need more than that, then things have gotten very bad. Some of us can go hunting.
Well, still,
And we can
if we
potentially also eat Robert.
If we have room on the truck, we might as well, take up that space with food.
I don't know if they're going to have that much on hand. But so you'll take as much as you can take.
Right.
We'll call it.
And then when the truck blows up, we're screwed. Also, if there is a lot of extra fuel, I'm going to burn the bug.
That was going to be a follow-up question: is what do you do with the autopsy creature?
I'm burning that SOB.
Are you burning it, all of it, or are you?
I'm burning all of it.
Taking any trophies?
I'm burning all of it. I don't know anything about these things. They might be able to track through the trophies. I want to smush things. I'd stomp on the little bugs, but I'm afraid that might trigger an explosion. Speaking of, I'm going to burn the bug pretty far away from everybody else in case it triggers an explosion.
As you burn the corpse, it does that.
Crackles.
It does that whole lobster scream thing, and really freaks some people out.
Makes me feel good. I want to hear more of that from them.
All right. So you guys are going to take an hour at least, maybe longer than that, gathering all the crap up. And then you're going to rest for 8 hours?
I would actually recommend resting for longer and having guard rotations. So everybody gets the full, but we don't have everybody unconscious at the same time. Simply looking at the fatigue thing, Reese looks like he's about dead on his feet. No, wait, it's only 4. Yeah, he's dead on his feet. He's about to just collapse.
Oh no, he's recovered. He's recovered a lot of that already.
Well, yeah.
Has he?
Yeah.
It doesn't look like it in the combat tracker.
Well, that's
there.
It's 2 fatigue for loss of sleep at the moment.
Yes. So technically you would need to rest for 8 hours to recover all of it. Yes. No, 10, I mean. Okay, so back to the plan. So you have packed up and you are going to rest until you are fully recovered, or are you resting for a fixed period of time?
Rest to recover 1 fatigue, but still be down 1. We don't want to stay here too long. And if, Robert is completely shit-faced when we all leave, we can just leave him.
He's kind of already getting there.
I'm perfectly fine with that. I can dig and dig another hole for him.
So we rest till just before midday, and then we take off.
Yeah, that would put us one down, right? So where we're still a little sleepy, really tired, but we're not, oh my god, I'm not functional at all. Plus, this place may have really good coffee.
So if you sleep till noon, I'm not entirely sure how that works. The sleep rules get so weird when you start breaking things up like that. That'll at least that'll probably wipe out your extra.
So we're just going to be down one.
Yes. Depending on how midday we're talking. If you're leaving at noon.
It's going to be probably a little later than that because, like I said,
Like
if we have,
afternoon.
if we have afternoon, but if we have people, at least a couple people, probably at least John and Reese, rotating on like guard duty to make sure that, hey, there's an army of bugs.
Then I will call it if you guys are sleeping until the afternoonish, but not too late. Then we'll say you guys will be down one long-term sleep fatigue and reset.
Roger.
So you're not like training. That'll work. We'll call it that. All right. So.
Right. So if Reese is driving that or his truck, I guess I'll drive the other truck, the new one.
Sounds good.
Yeah, we're gonna have to figure that out.
Me and Junior
in
the
the
other one with all the
meantime-
food. So if you guys got blowed up, we got all the food.
We may want to
Actually, no,
split
we'll
it
do
up
that
a
way.
little bit, so if we
Nope.
lose any vehicle.
Yeah. Make sure one of them doesn't explode.
You're probably hauling the horse trailer too. So
You can totally put Robert in my truck. Nothing bad will happen to him.
we stopped to go pee, and he got bit by a snake.
It was tragic and really fast. It was a 3-step snake.
Okay, so is this accurate? Let's see. Somebody else. You probably don't want to pack them all in up there with the dog. Okay.
I'll take Shane.
Do probably want to keep Jules with the rest of the injuries, though. That makes sense. Okay.
And Reese is smart enough to go, nah, Robert, you're going to stay with me and not ride with John. Because you may say something that pisses him off, and he may just go, stop, bang, shove, drive again. What happened to Robert? He fell behind.
He tripped.
He fell.
All right. You guys are going to get moving around. I'm going to call it 1400. And you guys are arranged thusly. And you start to set off. You are going... Convoy. If I am correct, you are going south on 120 toward Meeteetse. And then on through there onto Riverton in in the reservation.
On the speaking of the road, have we already passed the big section that got blown up, or is that closer to Meeteetse?
Okay. The crater that you are referring to is about a mile down the road, I think.
Oh, damn it. What's the name of that
3
map?
miles. 3 miles. Which map?
The one that is
the road
Wyoming map? Something or other. Okay, Wyoming road map. Okay, I got it. I just accidentally, closed
Yeah.
it. And I'm like, ah, crap.
I know how that works. Yeah, 3 miles down the road is where that break is, so you guys will have to divert off the road to go around it.
Right. Well, we've got Chandler serving as our Ford observer. I hope he doesn't get jumped and eaten. Although I do hope Robert gets jumped and eaten.
Doesn't look like you're going to have any
Then
real
we should
problems
mount.
doing that, though.
We should mount Robert on front of the ATV on a
Like
big
a
pole.
dead deer. There's like a pole and he's tied to it. Yeah. Like, help me. Shut up.
See
You
your-
should have been drunk.
See your blood bag?
That's right.
Yeah, it's the end times. I'm sorry, Robert, but we have to go full Mad Max. You're on the front.
We're going to witness you.
Day by day, Chandler will, steadily become more Mad Max.
And it eventually changes character icon.
Start
Avatar.
getting random metal bits and putting them on his clothes.
Yeah, shaving, mohawk. Transformation will take a full week.
Find spiky bits to add to his ATV. All right. Well, you guys will set off. It is early afternoon on Monday still, and the road is mostly clear. You don't get very far, however, before, actually probably around the time when you're circumnavigating that crater, and the object that inhabited the crater is still present in it. Does not appear to have gone anywhere or sprouted anything. Your progress is momentarily arrested as you hear the sound yet again of jets. And you poke your head out the windows to see, again, some F-15s flying over. Probably, maybe even the same ones. At this point, though, they are not terrain following. They are very high up. And you can look behind as they pass. They're headed north. And it looks like they're launching missiles.
Good for them. Little overdue.
And you might cheer for a moment until you see one of them just explode.
Well, that was clearly the one dude that damn it, I can't remember his name. The singer guy who was in Independence Day. The other one is being piloted by Will
Right.
Smith.
Well,
Will they are not shooting that green shit at him.
Will Smith doesn't last a whole lot longer in this case. They did shoot that green shit at him, and it did some catastrophic damage.
Yeah, he'll be fine. He was able to eject.
It's because there was no canyon nearby.
So, worth noting, as you observe that, it does appear that they were engaging some of the, what I will term, gunships.
Kind of crappy, lame-ass XCOM shit is that? I know they were trying to shoot down a freaking thing, and they failed and got blowed up.
And those gunships were able to perform maneuvers that the F-15s cannot. And they have some sort of energy weapon, and were able to shoot them down fairly easily without being bothered.
Well, that's disappointing.
So the cheers kind of died down into groans.
Did the missiles find their mark?
Not that you saw. course, you're not a fighter pilot, so. Moving on. So
Things don't
it
look
is
to
going
be good
to
for the good
take.
guys.
How long is it going to take you to get to Meeteetse?
Presuming it's not, a big hole in the ground.
Well, it'll be there whether it's a hole in the ground or not. All right. Looks like it's normally going to be about 20 minutes to get there. So not too far. At normal highway speeds. Oh, I forgot to clear up. Were you actually trying to bring horses with you? I know you were talking about the horse trailers, but I don't know if that was the intent.
I think Mark was talking about that. I'm not sure about the wisdom of it.
The what? Say again?
Carrying, bringing horses with us, because if we have to drive remotely fast, that's gonna make the one with the trailer a sitting target.
We would also need to feed the horses, and we'll be using extra fuel.
Yeah, so I
All
would
right,
lean
then the
towards
horses.
saying
I'm
not
good.
at the
Then
moment.
that's fine. That makes sense. I agree.
He can be talked out of that.
Sweet, we've got a UFO icon.
What? Right, so 20 minutes on the road, and you will approach Meeteetse once again. Where's my thing? Not that thing, the other thing. So you round the hill and start heading into town. You will first realize that it is not on fire. So that's comforting.
I suppose.
And as you approach the outer edges of town, you see that there are a number of older vehicles sort of strewn about there. And you actually recognize a few of those older vehicles as some that were at the police station being gathered for the scouting mission the night before.
Oh, hey. Some of the scouts.
Which would suggest that some others have escaped Cody.
Huzzah!
You will be met at the edge of town there. The local PD, all 5 or 6 of them, riding horses and whatnot, will stop you and ask your business, and then oh, hey, you guys back again.
Wow,
And,
you seem really, really, wait, I'm probably not being Tom in the back.
You're interrupting.
I am. I'm trying to be interrupty.
So the other survivors from Cody have arrived here ahead of you, so they already know that Cody has been lost. And they honestly weren't expecting a whole lot more out of it. So they're happy that more people have survived. And they will ask you what you guys are up to.
Well, right at the moment, we're trying to make our way south, probably toward into the Res, Riverton, and somewhere in and around that area. We'll describe the flying things, the aerial fight that didn't do very much. The the crater, the explosion, the widespread destruction of Cody, etc. And
oh, go ahead.
we were able to rescue at least these folks. And then I'll also allow her to describe what happened to people that seem to be captured as opposed to straight up killed.
As you are explaining, the cops here will say that they'd heard the jets go over and they were overjoyed that the military was finally getting involved and are now very disheartened to hear that it has all come to naught. They have been sort of holding out here, hoping that the military would make some kind of play, but they have gotten no communication in that regard, so they're starting to lose hope over here. But what are they going to do?
Well, it's not like the military aren't doing anything. They are exploding in the air.
Ouch.
Meeteetse has a generator for the town, apparently, because of there was some kind of flood, I think, back in 2015, and it knocked out the water. So they got a generator for the town. So they're running on that generator right now, but they don't know how long that's going to hold out because they've only got so much fuel for it.
There was fuel back at the ranch, right? Like a fuel station.
They probably need a lot of fuel for that thing, but yeah,
right,
there would have been some.
There was fuel back there.
And so they'll talk about that. Yeah, okay, you broke into that ranch, but yeah, these are weird times. And they may try to send somebody out there to get some fuel. Oh, total aside here, you also passed that bus. That prison bus was still out there on your way in. With that, you guys, so the other tagalongs you have are sort of mingling with the other Cody survivors, trying to figure out who's lost, who's not. And of course, the spirits aren't particularly high at this point. But there will be confirmation of the fact that some have been captured and have been hauled off to who knows where and may yet be alive. And so once again, Sandra is sort of pushing the idea of trying to mount a rescue operation, but nobody in town is really feels the chances are good for that.
That's true. That is fun. Totally dig the UFO.
What?
On the Wyoming road map.
Oh. Okay. Right. I wasn't looking at the map. All right. So, given the discussions, it is.
So I'm presuming the majority of the
Gonna be about
NPCs
3-ish.
are going to stay here.
Well, that is up to you. You guys want to talk them out of staying, or let's
Not
see
really.
who's gonna want to stay? Because to be frank, there's not anything really here. This was a town of about 300, less than 350.
But it's not a smoking hole in the.
It is not a
ground.
smoking hole, but there isn't a whole lot here. So And they've
where
already
we're
got a bunch of
going-
extras. Another thing probably worth noting is they've got Cody refugees. They don't have any refugees from anywhere else right now. So that's
So
something.
have they heard anything else?
No, they've been pretty well cut off.
I wonder if we can trade up trucks.
Well, I don't think anybody's going to be really interested in trading for that the beater.
But if we could trade the other one for something that's a little more passenger friendly.
I guess as far as the tagalongs go, are you going to recommend that they stay here?
I'll let them decide. We're going towards there, and the Jackson, I'm sure he's probably interested in going along. But I'm not going to presume that they want to come with us, but I'm not going to turn anyone down because extra shooters is extra shooters.
Well, let's see. Washington is in a bad way still, and he's probably not up for a whole lot of adventures. So
Yeah,
he's
actually,
cool
most
with
of them are
hanging out
injured.
here. Sandra is also injured, and she's also really focused on trying to get back into Cody and rescue people. So I think she's probably interested in staying here, but she would also really like to get some backup. So she will ask that if you guys can pass word, or if you guys find all the machine guns, to maybe bring some back here, so maybe we can mount a rescue effort of some kind. You're not sure if Little actually heard anything you said, because he's kind of out of
I
it.
legit don't care about what he thinks or hears.
We may not just ask, we might forget to ask him what he wants. And when
He
we
is very
drive
drunk
off-
right now, and actually annoying people.
He's leave the town and all of a sudden get flagged down. It's like, hey, you left this guy behind. Dang it.
Yes, we did.
Shane is like,
He's your baggage now.
well, on the one hand, I'm not up for going for any adventures. I'm supposed to be on vacation. On the other hand, you guys aren't going to be able to find that guy's
This is true. We
prep
need
bunker
you.
without him. So, well, I guess you could talk me into it. I mean, there's really nothing here anyway. I don't know. I feel like I'm the guy that's going to get shot in the head just to prove how badass the bad guys are.
Well, we could theoretically bring Robert along for that job.
But you're actually offering to bring Robert along? I'm actually impressed.
So he gets shot. So he gets shot in the head.
Too late. He's already my blood bag.
In fact, I may shoot him in the head just to get a jump on it.
Yeah, we look over and there's Jules patching a bloodline in, from Robert to Damien. And we start to wonder why Damien's getting all drunk.
James is going to ask Robert if he's going to come along. And
Betrayer!
And he gives him the big puppy dog eyes, apparently.
That was low. He's no use to us drunk. Is he like holding on to some alcohol?
Yes.
All right. I'm gonna go over seeing what James is doing. I'm gonna go over. I'm gonna take that away from him. Go. There ain't time for this crap.
He is gonna take a swing at you.
And I'm gonna punch him right into the ground.
Again? What are the chances he can connect?
Well, he's awfully drunk. I don't know what it's going to be.
Not good. Yeah, he's not even close. He might have hit you if he wasn't drunk.
Telegraphed.
Damn, I tried to fail that too. Luckily, he's probably. I don't actually. What does drunk do for that stuff?
No, tipsy is -2 to stuff. I think drunk is -4. I realized my NPC thing didn't have a dodge on it for some reason. Yeah, that's not gonna do it. He will take that.
My punch string sucks. That's like nothing. That's terrible.
Did you, No, that wasn't to the head, was it?
No.
Just a body shot. Alright, well,
Yeah,
you do some damage to him, and he staggers back a little bit, and probably almost hurls.
We don't have time for this crap. Get your crap together, or I'll bury your ass in the desert.
Wow.
It probably helps that I am not blind. Everybody's like, holy shit, he's going to murder him and bury him in the desert.
Well, we may want to, since we're here at Meeteetse and they probably even have an auto parts store, we may want to do what we can to shore up the truck that we do have and take some, make sure all the vehicles are the best operating order they can be.
All right. Well, it looks like you're going to be down 2 of the tagalongs, so you don't need as much room. Are you ditching one of the vehicles?
I say we
Ditching
leave
any
it.
of the vehicles?
Oh, crap.
Because you picked the one without a bed, so it's going to be really tough to ride along. One swerve and we're all going out the back.
Well, what are the chances you could actually swap that bed out?
It'd probably
Well,
take too much effort in that case. If they have another one that doesn't have that does have a bed, and they are willing to swap them, probably not.
give 2 for 1. Yeah, that
I
could
mean,
work
that vehicle isn't. Well, let's see.
We could
Somebody
give
do
up
the
2 vehicles.
Somebody
for
do
one.
the universe thing. You have to get very good to get an exact match.
It's going to be Chandler's turn. He's going to roll like very bad.
Well, let's hope that he has his GM cheats on. So.
As he's rolling the universe, he will suggest that if there's some welding equipment, he can weld some sides on our truck.
Or is that too? Nope.
Yeah, we've got a Dodge, and all of the trucks in town are Fords. Every single one of them. It's weird.
Yeah, the best you could do at this point is maybe get a bed off a non-functional truck and actually weld it on. But that's going to take some effort.
Well, what if we do the 2 for 1? We trade both these 2 trucks and get for one that's a little bit better overall.
Well, there aren't that many functional cars here, and they're all in use.
Right.
Well, we can totally leave one of these. I mean, we don't actually, as long as we can keep yours still running, we can probably leave the diesel one behind, and that'll make them like, oh, hey, thanks.
Since Chandler's had a chance to look over both trucks, what would the health on the petrol truck be versus the diesel truck?
The diesel truck is newer and probably better maintained. However, Oh, and also hasn't been involved in a large explosion. The downside of the bigger vehicle is that it's a bigger vehicle. It's also diesel, and it's also got a lot of electronics on it, and you don't know what the status of the electronics is. It could short out at some point. Or if the EMP happens again, it could go out. There are downsides. The state of the beater, as I am referring to it, the damage is mostly cosmetic. It has similar issues to the ATV, as it's got dirt in places it really shouldn't have dirt, and probably could stand a good cleaning and maintenance. Plus, it's an older truck that hasn't been in service, so it's not as well maintained, hence the health of 10.
So as we progress, it's more thematically appropriate to use this beat-up truck.
It is more thematically appropriate to use the beat-up truck.
Well, what if I can assist with the mechanics role, and we can clean up the two vehicles.
Yeah, you could actually potentially maintain it a bit and get it in a better condition. And with a lot of non-functional vehicles here and on the road, finding new parts for it is probably not going to be hard.
So then we'll spend a little time to tune up all our vehicles before we leave then.
So
All
we're
right.
going to keep all three? Question mark?
I don't see why not.
Okay.
And siphon fuel from dead vehicles.
Oh, I'm sure
Well,
we're not the only ones that have already done that.
Well, there is a good reason why
As we
not to
go.
use more vehicles, and that is that's way more fuel.
Yeah, because I was thinking if we just end up leaving the new one that we got, and like hand it off to Washington and Sandra, since hey, they're part of our party, so to speak.
Yeah, I don't mind. I have no problem handing it off. In
Because
fact,
it's
we
not
could
like
probably
it's
use
not
it
like
as-
it actually belongs to us.
Yep, and who
Also
knows?
that.
It buys us goodwill. It buys us also goodwill with the town. So when we come back, or we could, hey, can we trade this and get some extra regular gas fuel?
So like, yeah, that's what I'll do probably. Then it's like while we're gathering this stuff up, I'm gonna pause with Washington and give him the keys.
He will appreciate that, and promise to not scratch it. He will also promise not to drive it until he can get this bandage off his face.
Well, you can always have Sandra drive it.
Yeah, she's got the bum leg, so
So you
Maybe
have
they'll
to
have
work
to-
together.
they'll have to both work it.
Great.
No
We're gonna
shooting.
get back here, and they're gonna be in a committed relationship. Because
Now
she's
you're
like,
gonna-
oh well.
You're going to get back here, and you're going to have to barter to get allowed through the town walls.
Yeah. Who are you again? Really, Curtis? Really? Oh, it's because Damien now has a mohawk that you're freaking out. I can understand that.
And spikes.
And yes,
And he's got Robert tied to
that
him
is
with the
Robert tied
bloodlines.
to up there. But you remember how much of a dick he was, as he's like, "Kill me." Shut it.
Few bodies on the ends of large floppy poles. It's for those boarding operations.
James is learning to play a guitar that shoots fire.
Well, who doesn't want to do that?
Okay, that's a valid point.
And Damien has started referring to fuel as guzzling.
Guzzling.
Because why not? You could do that now. Why wait?
the juice.
So you are handing off the new vehicle. You are keeping the truck and the ATV. You are going
spend
to
a little time to tune them up, I guess.
tune up the vehicles. So how long are you going to spend doing that?
As long as it takes to get them to serviceable.
I got an 11,
right.
so I can assist.
As well.
I don't know how many man hours that would result in. Tell you what, give me a D6 for hours. So you got about 4 hours of work. A couple of guys doing it, so 2 hours. I'd put it 5 o'clock, 1700.
So maybe stay here overnight and head out first thing in the morning.
Yeah, you've got at that point you'd have about 4 hours of daylight left. You could get to Riverton easily enough by that time. It's not that far. If you wanted to do that, or you could stay here overnight. Your call.
Well, that's going to be a fun drive. Because if I recall, the drive from Thermopolis to Shoshone is going to be through the canyon.
The canyon? Let's see. I've got the whole trip as 117 miles, just short of 2 hours. It's saying. Yeah, I guess there is a bit of a canyon thing going on there.
Oh yeah, it's a big. There's like a whitewater rafting.
It's got
tunnels and all kinds of crazy
canyon.
cool stuff.
I thought
also
that
very
canyon
well
was somewhere
featured.
else.
It's also very well featured in one of the Longmire books.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, the drive's going to take about 2 hours. You got about 3.5, 4 hours of daylight left. Do you want to leave now, or do you want to stay overnight?
Let's stay overnight and recover our fatigue.
There is that.
I agree.
Overnight it is. When, therefore, shall you leave?
On the morning?
So sunup's going to be around 6:30? All right. Now, let's see if anything happens overnight in Meeteetse. I need a universe reaction roll because that's my jam.
That's going to be Ethan. Ethan!
Of course, he's not right here.
What a damn slacker. Why is he not right there? We're gaming. You can't just up and leave in the middle of a game.
Can't?
Uh-oh.
Good roll.
I seem to recall that being...
Things get interesting.
I seem to recall that's pretty interesting. Let me confirm. And let's see. Poor. No, what was that roll? 8. Oh, okay. Now that's not that interesting. Kind of negative, but not that interesting. Well, that's almost disappointing. Yeah, so sometime later in the night, Robert starts to realize what he's just volunteered for.
Took him that long to realise that he's being plugged
He
into
had to
me.
sober up.
He had to sober up.
Didn't
So
question
in
the
the
tubes
morning-
and stuff.
In the morning, when everybody gets out to the truck, they're going to find him in the bed of the truck, completely hogtied, and, wide-eyed, like, oh, God, oh, God, oh, God, with the gag and everything.
Yeah, sometime later he stumbles out of the motel room that everybody was staying at, and James just happened to be passing by, said something about leaving in the morning, and it's like he doesn't remember any of that. He vaguely remembers being punched. All right. Well, aside from that, the night passes uneventfully. No odd noises. And now it's Tuesday. So sun up. You guys pack up and take off.
Vroom,
This
vroom.
is correct. And you are in the old truck, which means I don't have to change the graphic. Ha ha ha.
Damn. Is it too late to change our mind?
Yep. It's done. Let's see. So, who do we have? So, Robert will go along. Unless you guys specifically leave him behind. Although James might be disappointed.
Need him along to catch a bullet, so Shane doesn't.
Okay. And you guys head south. I'm gonna find my damn image around here somewhere. All right, there it is. And it is a long and boring drive. You pass lots of disabled vehicles along the way. Are you planning on stopping a bunch of times and raiding them, or what?
I think we should. Probably siphon some fuel too, so that we keep our tanks topped up.
Well, you're not in a specific hurry here, so you got plenty of time to do it. You can afford to waste a few hours siphoning fuel and picking through whatever you find on the side of the road. And probably nobody out there is going to stop you. So, is that the plan? You guys add a couple of hours?
Sounds good to me.
All right. So, you will replace any fuel that you've lost on the trip, because finding vehicles with a little bit of gas in them is not going to be too difficult. In fact, you're probably getting really experienced at the whole siphoning thing. Sure, by the end of this, everybody's going to be expert mechanic. You guys, the vehicles that are out here that have been stranded don't appear to have been picked clean or anything at this point, so you don't have roving bands of looters. They also don't have a lot of useful stuff lying around because whoever was in them left with whatever was most important. So you're probably not finding anything like ammunition or weapons. But some water, food here and there, tools. We won't bother about the specifics. Probably an hour in. You do. Let's see, where are you going to be about an hour in? No, about an hour in, you're going to be hitting Thermopolis. You're pretty close to it.
It's 52 miles to Thermopolis.
So, yeah, pretty close to it.
We're going to have to defend it with a couple hundred other guys.
Let's call it 45 minutes in then. So you're hitting the edge of the Thermopolis area when you spot in the distance a bit out in the scrub a what looks like a little crashed thing.
Binos.
Where did I put that?
Binoculars.
Did I not put that there?
We have recovered all fatigue.
Yeah, you guys are fine.
That's
Yep,
odd
plenty of
looking.
Let's see. Who was it that got that crit? Was that Damien? Yeah, that was Damien.
Yes, sir.
Damien will recognize the shape of that thing as definitely one of those things that were launched.
And in terms of scale, is it big enough for like one person, or I assume we're looking at some sort of drop pod sort of thing?
Yeah, you could probably squeeze a couple of guys in there if they're really friendly.
Does it look like it's rigged to transport people?
Not people, maybe bugs.
Well, bugs.
You would probably guess that it looks like it was a container of some kind. It looks like it may have been hollow, for lack of a better word. As to what specifically, you have no idea. You don't see anything jumping around over there.
So, Damien is curious enough that... actually, let me roll on it first. He's definitely curious.
Wow.
He wants to get a closer look, so he's going to...
we're definitely stopping.
Stealth up and have a look at this thing. He'll say, that looks like the thing that I saw flying overhead the other night. I'm going to have a look.
Are you sure you want to do that?
Yeah, I want to see what we're dealing with.
I'm going to take up a covering position.
So Damien will dismount and he'll sneak up stealthy-wise.
So you guys were approaching a bridge over the river before you get to Thermopolis, and you guys saw that out in a field off to the west, some distance, probably 100 yards or so. There's a farmhouse. Well, farmhouse. There's a house over there, but it's not close. It's like 100 yards up to one side. And other than some brush here by the road, there's really not much out there. It's kind of open, which is why you were able to see it.
So stealth is kind of pointless.
Yeah, probably.
In that
Doesn't
case,
mean you can't go ahead and do it.
in that case, won't bother stealthing. We'll just ride up carefully on the ATV.
Okay.
I can shoot him.
No, don't do that.
Okay.
Once he gets there, he will stop. Maybe 20 yards from it, and he'll dismount there and then sneak up cautiously, watching his step, and he will be looking for tracks to see if anything has likely left this thing.
The Great Cthulhu jumps out of the pod and grabs you by the face.
You sure you don't want me to shoot you?
Not yet.
As back at the truck while you're approaching the thing, Robert is like, well, what if that's like a bioweapon or something? And he's going to come back and infect us all.
Should send Robert.
It's a valid concern as much as I dislike the dude. What if that's a bioweapon and you're going to come back and infect us all?
So Damien will sort of stop and take a few steps back, thinking that's a valid argument. Let me see.
But he failed that curiosity check, so he's maybe like, it'll be fine.
He also has overconfidence. Let's see if I can fail that one too. From his spot, 20 yards from the thing, is he able to see any sort of indication of like footprints or footsteps or anything like that?
Well, sorry, stand by. I had a Google Earth fail. Trying to relocate myself. I think that's where we were. Right, so you approach and you are not seeing any signs of activity, life, whatever, around the pod, if you want to call it that. Do you have tracking?
Yeah, I already made the roll.
Okay. I was working my way over there.
If he can't see anything, then he's going to do a big circle around it, looking down to see if anything's sort of left.
Well, as you're panning around, trying to see, there are indentations that you might consider tracks, but it wouldn't surprise you to find that the track, the feet of whatever this might be, don't look like anything you've ever seen before. So, what do you really know?
Does it resemble possibly the bug thing that we looked at before, or we took with us?
Maybe, but they're really small. Like maybe cat size, dog size, small dog size. Unless they were shooting miniatures.
Okay. What was it? Failed by 3 on the curiosity. He's going to take a closer look. He'll call out. Looks to be little tracks, maybe cat size.
Back at the truck, what are you guys doing?
I am providing overwatch with the rifle.
Yep, me too. Rifle out.
Staying very far away and
Yep.
behind a gun.
Yep. Covering all sides.
Shane is like, he's so gonna die.
Yep, you might.
Zip Thanos.
All right. Then I will get a perception roll in the box from Chandler.
Okay.
The tracks, if you want to call it that, well, you might call it that at this point, do kind of wander off in the direction of the home.
The home.
There's a house nearby.
And the tracks clearly come from this thing.
Yes. You get the impression that there are, as it goes farther out, you get the impression there are actually multiple individuals, possibly. It doesn't look like there are definitely groups of multiple tracks, but there are definitely multiple sets of them.
Any
It's kinda hard to
idea
tell. You don't know how many legs these
what
things
sort
have.
of number?
Ooh, half dozen maybe.
All right, so Chandler will then look to the house. What's the state of the house in? Is it? It's not like on fire or anything like that. Walls blown out.
No.
And it looks like it's a house that is, recently lived in. It's not abandoned. Okay.
No, not abandoned.
So Chandler will come back to the group and he said, there's tracks from, I don't know, half a dozen small, maybe cat-sized things. Definitely no track I've seen, but they all head off to that farmhouse over there.
Huh. Cat sized.
Whatever that thing is there, it
So-
looks like some sort of delivery device, like those, drop pods in that game.
Like, that's weird.
Was it Halo? Like, kind of like
ones
that.
with the cerebral
Oh,
crustaceans.
Head cerebral. You can't say the other one because copyright. We say it, and all of a sudden we get hit with the cease and desist.
Yeah, that one. You played that game, right?
It's apparently a pretty big house.
Yeah.
Well, that's what it kind of looks like. Looking back at the house, Chandler will say, if there's people in that house, they might be in trouble. They might need our help.
Whatever shall you do?
Yeah, I was expecting the sheriff to jump off the truck and start heading over there.
Sorry, I stepped away. I heard you guys talking, but I couldn't talk back.
That's a lot.
Yeah, I'm all for definitely going and checking it out. I'm also curious, so I will fail that. And
Robert's like, why don't I just stay back here and guard the truck?
why don't you just stay back here and I make sure the keys are with me? And I'm overconfident,
Right.
so that works for me too.
All right.
So I guess John
I'll
is
throw
probably
my-
gonna have.
Oh, actually, I have a spare vest, so I can give. I have the attack vest and I have a regular undercover vest, so I throw John the undercover vest.
Ah, okay.
Right. He's gonna look at it, and then he's gonna put it on his son, and tell him, "Stay here."
That's fine. It's yours to deal with as you please at this point.
Stay here and keep him out of them out of trouble.
Stand by. I got to do a thing.
He's got to do a thing.
That will probably work. So how are you planning to approach the situation? It looks like you got a... Okay, I see. Yeah, how are you planning to approach?
Tactically?
So, yeah,
With
careful.
great skill and stealth.
Well, if Chandler was going to stealth, but if the guys start being all tactical about it, Chandler will sort of step back and just follow. Oh, you want to do it like that? Okay.
Because I'm looking around for, bug cats or cat bugs or something.
Okay, so the truck, I'm presuming, is going to be parked somewhere around that 120 mark. And looks like you got to cross a river to go directly to the house from there, unless you go down the road a bit and come back. So up to you which way you go. But the pod is around here somewhere, I guess.
Interested to. That seems so random. What makes the house so interesting to them?
Who knows?
Well, it gives us cover if we approach from here. But we're going to be crossing what looks like a little stream, maybe?
Yeah, it's not very big.
I assume it was shallow because Damien would have had to go through it with the ATV.
Yeah.
Oh, so Damien drove up to the thing?
Yeah, he drove up to the pod.
Ah, so, well, whatever's in the house is probably aware of all the noise.
We're gonna get up there, and it's gonna be the stuff from Mass Effect with the spikes and the husks, space zombies.
Mark, were you pointing somewhere? If you were pointing at things, I wasn't seeing it.
No, I wasn't pointing at anything. All right, well, say we...
I'll point at something randomly.
All right, so you guys are tacticaling up
Daniel's
to the
like,
house.
"Stop it!" Yes, looking
fine.
for cat bugs or bug cats or whatever they are.
Or whatever.
Bug monkeys. Ooh, monkey bugs.
As you approach the house, you will notice first that there are a number of windows broken.
Yep, they're all dead.
You will also notice that you do not hear anyone doing anything inside.
Is this on the approach to Shoshone?
Thermopolis.
Thermopolis.
Yeah, there's a river, quote unquote, just north of Thermopolis on 120. That's where it is. All right. You gonna go right up to the windows, or what? What are you doing?
Yep. Looking in, trying to find spider bug monkeys.
Right. I was gonna do that thing.
Does what's his nuts back in the does Sean have a weapon?
Shane did have a weapon, yes.
Okay.
Actually,
Right.
so does
And
Robert,
Shane
to
does
be
have
fair.
Okay. So I just want to make sure that they have a means to defend themselves if something happens on the back rear end. And what is Jules doing? Is he
I'll be staying back a bit because I do not have stealth.
I'm not exactly being stealthy. I'm being more tactically.
Yeah, I'm kind of doing the
Eh.
same. So
They look kind of similar.
Not really. Tactical is more. I'm going in really hard, quickly.
well, that's dynamic.
You're being tactical.
That's probably true.
Damien will probably make a comment as you guys go in tactical. He'll go, damn, that looks so cool.
So you get up to the windows, and let's see. So you're gonna basically walking around the house, looking through the windows. You're not actually going through.
Not immediately, no.
Not immediately,
immediately.
yeah, but it's definitely, checking in there, looking for the inevitable corpses.
You work your way
tracks.
around until you find. You look through one particular window into what looks like probably a bedroom, and there is what I might describe as some kind of secreted resin all over that room, like some giant blew his nose all over it.
Yeah, but secreted from what?
Beat me to it. Oh man, it is headbands or face huggers or head huggers.
You turn around and you see Damien has a stick with a face hugger, all slimy and stuff dripping from it.
Well, knowing we're going after cat-sized things, I will have the shotgun.
I presume you cleared that jam since the last
Oh
time.
yeah. Yep.
Nope, he didn't. He's like, I'm gonna. Oh yeah, I forgot to clear this.
So you see that in that bedroom. Are you going to enter there or move around?
I'm gonna go in.
And
All right then.
Impulsively, he goes in, and that's one of those where Reese's like, "The fuck."
Yeah, no, like what are you doing? Clearing the hallways or whatever.
I'm gonna have to shoot some face huggers.
Okay, well,
You're gonna have to shoot some.
you poke around very very cautiously. I guess, let's see. Let's do a perception check for everybody. This is general perception. Yeah, I can't think of any other skills that might be appropriate.
Damien was looking for tracks.
Well, you're
If that's
probably
relevant.
not going to find tracks in the house. But so you saw tracks around the outside of the house. You could tell that whatever it was is what probably broke the windows. You are on the trail. Okay, wow. Everybody is very perceptive today.
I'm in combat mode.
Let's see. I need a random PC. Nope, I need random party member, but not every party member is here.
If it's something
I need
bad,
to
it's going to
remove
happen
people.
to John.
That's true. Good call. Yeah, John. John hears as you guys are sort of going room to room, clearing the rooms. First, you seeing that whatever it is all over the place. Secondly, you saw at least one person who was buried in it and is either unconscious or deceased. And as you are going through the rooms looking, Heinlein turns a corner and hears a ratcheting sound. And has a moment to react to that.
He is pulling back and putting his back to a wall.
Okay. As he does that, something launches through the drywall on the wall opposite the door. It may have had legs.
Ah! I think he's going to try to shoot it. He's probably seen Alien.
Wait till it attaches to Robert's face, then shoot it.
Right. We need to call in Robert. There are things in the walls.
They're coming out of the walls.
They're coming out of the goddamn walls.
Yeah, you guys all heard that too. Not necessarily the ratchet, but you heard you heard it smash through the one of the walls, the interior walls of the house. So
Fall back.
that was unmistakable.
Well, we're falling back.
Something about aft incinerators.
Are you guys
Pointy
retreating?
sticks.
Are we what?
I don't
Are you
even know what you
retreating?
saw, so
Yes. Till we have a better idea of what these things are. Plus, we need to pull in Robert to throw him into the room.
Exactly.
And get
Experiment.
Yes. Damien's going to go to the person that's been embedded in this resin to first see if they're alive and then see if he can pull them out first before he leaves.
Right. So as you guys are were you going to fall back outside the house, or were you falling back to an area in the house?
Well, we're definitely going to be falling back to where we're all in the same, clustered together, so we're not scattered around.
Okay. As you guys are going through the process of collecting yourselves, trying to get over to the biggest room in the house, probably the living room or something like that, and you are all basically attacked by these things, but since everybody's like super perceptive right now, you guys all manage to get out of the way before you get a hit.
And there will be some gunfire.
And there will be some gunfire, and you guys are able to see more of it. It's like a baseball with legs.
It's a face hugger.
And it's throws itself at you.
Like a face hugger.
Damien steps down to a body / person and starts trying to pull some stuff off, but having made his perception check by 5, he hears that ratchet sound behind him before it goes off, and he manages to dodge it. And again, it's hitting like somebody threw a baseball at a wall. Actually can bounce off of some stuff. But there are quite a few in here.
Out, I say.
Yeah. I think we're pulling back. I'm sorry, we don't have the firepower to necessarily pull these people out at the moment.
Well, Damien will be ripping at this stuff. You can't leave this one. And he'll just, he doesn't know what it means in a tactical sense, but he'll just say, "Cover me."
Chandler.
That's what he's seen in the movies as he tries to free this person.
Do you haul him off? Do you talk him out of it? Or do
I'm
you
probably
just
a little busy, trying to potentially shoot one of these things.
If I see one, I'm going to take a shot too.
Damn it, Chandler!
You guys can all make a guns roll. Let's see. Size mod is going to be -4. And I'll let this be an abstract. If you do well, you can take out 1 or 2 in the process while covering Damien.
That's a good roll.
Using slug? I guess if you already had it
Oh,
loaded.
that was actually supposed
not
to be
a good roll.
That was actually supposed to be that shotgun.
Well, it is a shotgun, but
Well, I was supposed to be the shot. Since
supposed
we
to
were
be
going
shot.
After, yeah, I clicked the wrong one.
Heinlein unloads a bit, but he doesn't hit much. What about Wells?
Because he's yelling at Chandler.
Does not go according to plan.
Well, he doesn't hit anyone else that you're aware of.
Well, that's the important thing that matters.
So, in the few minutes it takes Damien to pull the pieces, and this is totally like Ripley going in there trying to pull the crap off of Newt to rescue Newt from the nest.
All sticky and gross and shit.
Oh yeah, it's nasty. It does not smell good either. And as you are continually assaulted by these things, Reese does manage to shoot 1 or 2 of them, and it doesn't look like they take a whole lot. It's just hard to hit them.
Does Damien get the person free of the stuff?
Yes. Now, I need to do 2 things. One, I want everybody to make a dodge roll.
We'll use extra effort.
Not in this case. Wow. Except for Damien.
Which
probably
makes sense.
Which is appropriate. Damien gets tagged by one of these things.
We're going to have to put you down, brother.
Let me see.
I'll be fine. It's nothing. It's just a weird growth. It's a birthmark.
Oh, damn. That sucks.
You died. Roll up a new character.
You know what? That's not right though. I shouldn't roll the hit location for you. You roll your own hit location, which frankly could make it worse.
Head, 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 head,
That'd be
head,
hilarious if you got knocked out cold.
face, face, face.
That's not happy either. All right, that's going to be 3 points. Crushing.
To which
that gonna
hand? That's
break it.
3 points, Will.
Great.
Actually, no.
I think it's
No,
short.
it's just short.
That hurt.
It hurt, though.
Yeah, you're gonna feel that one. So in the ensuing chaos, you managed to not dodge one, and it tagged you in the hand, and oh my god, that hurt.
So, in true Australian fashion, Damien's gonna yell out, "Fucking cunt!"
Now, let's see. Universe for the guy. Is he alive?
Demonetized.
Oh no!
Right.
I got the table for that.
You have a table for that.
I'll use the status table I was using for the SAR. Oh, this is totally SAR. You should have rolled that. Never mind. Right, that was that one. Status. And I unshared that, so I am going to share that and let somebody roll it.
That's
All right.
appropriate.
Yeah, you
made it worse.
He has a serious concussion, and he's been here long enough that it's going to be tough to get him back.
Well, that'll all depend on Jules. Chandler will still drag him out.
Moving him out of here is probably gonna be the end of him.
Well, Chandler doesn't know that.
But you can always try.
You're gonna be dragging him out, and you look back and you realize, man, he got really light. Oh, I got the upper half of him. That would explain why he got light.
All right. I tell you what. I will go ahead and you can make the SAR roll. And Urban, yeah, that will do. It's a little weird, but... And if you make it, you can extract him. Yeah. So you can extract him in a reasonable amount of time without making a bigger mess than was already there. So...
It'll be a little clumsy since his hand is all banged up.
Yeah, but you got guys here that can help, so you got plenty of hands. And yeah, so you pull him out of the house, probably through the window you came in, and
well, we might be going out a front door or a door or something like that.
Or whatever. Yeah, you kick the door down. Or you don't have to.
As people in the vehicles are going, holy crap, what's going on? Because they hear bang, 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 and then boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, there was gunshots. It was not pleasant. So that was a mess. And tell you what, let's have Wells do his first aid and see what we come up with. He's gonna have to go back to fetch the crash kit. Holy God, he's gonna make it, dude. He may not remember his name, but he'll probably survive.
It's how I do.
Carry your weight there, Karen.
Hey, I thought we were on Jillian for today. That's what the schedule said.
I legitimately can't recall your name. You're Susan, right?
That hurts so much.
All right, well, apparently you saved a guy.
Yay.
Well, what are you going to do with him now?
We are bugging the hell out of here.
Getting back on the back where you were going?
And keeping an eye out for those things to make sure they don't come following us.
Yeah, they're not very fast.
Also, what the fuck?
Was there
You
any
guys-
sort of obvious motive behind the resin stuff? Is it typical of any sort of Earth-like insect?
It would remind
For
you
food or
most-
something?
We've seen aliens.
It would remind you most of spider webs.
So
Tell you,
probably
we've seen
a food
aliens
source.
say he's been implanted with something, so we're going to definitely leave him in Thermopolis.
And there was about half a dozen of these things?
Yeah,
At least 2 left, thanks to Reese's shotgun.
maybe more than that.
I'm probably down to a magazine.
And
now.
how many
I need more ammo.
of these things did we see flying overhead? Like hundreds?
Oh, the pods? Yeah, hundreds of pods.
Frickin' terror missions, man.
So Damien's going to say, the other night there were hundreds of those, went everywhere. If they each had like half a dozen of these things, there's thousands.
Shane's like, well, what if they don't all have the same thing? What if some have worse things?
I was about to
That's
say
not gonna
that.
be good. Well, we keep an eye out for those casings and avoid places that you see them.
Hey, Lucy, can you tell if this guy has been implanted with anything? Because, I've totally seen aliens.
I don't know.
Great. That's what we need now.
Well,
if he starts,
And I
if
know the
his place
GM
starts
well enough
extending,
to...
we're kicking
yeah.
him off the bed, the truck.
he
And
may have,
I know the
he-
GM well enough to recognize if he gets an opportunity to sneak aliens crap in there, we're going to be running into xenomorphs.
No, not xenomorphs.
Hey, Jules, that thing busted up my hand. You reckon you can have a look at it?
Oh, yeah, of course.
To answer the question about the rescue, he may have been gnawed upon a bit.
Well, that seems
So
gross.
food. Yeah.
What's the roll at tech level 8? It's a D6 minus 1?
No, I think it's a straight D6.
Yeah, it's straight D6 at this tech level.
So roll a D6. Jules. Roll over 3.
Roll a 0 on a D6, please.
That's not
Just
fair.
because that'd be funny.
Sweet.
You'll mend. You feel better. You just need some Motrin.
Cheers, man. I think it just dislocated my thumb a little bit. That's better.
So, what are you going to do with him at Thermopolis? You just going to find a clinic or something and drop him off?
If there is such a place.
Surely there is. Thermopolis, what was the population? I have that down here. Yeah, 3,000. So, yeah, it's a sizable town. Much bigger than Meeteetse. 10 times as much, in fact.
And it's not a hole in the ground? It's not a crater?
No. There are people around here. It's like Cody was before the attack. Basically, everybody running around scratching their heads what they're going to do.
Well, we'll definitely want to.
And surprised to see a functional vehicle driving through town for no reason.
they would be sufficiently far enough away that they might not even know what's gone down.
They're
That
about
is
to.
actually true.
They're about to, as the sheriff guy goes, yeah, you guys need to get ready for some crazy shit.
Yep.
County, you're out of your jurisdiction here.
My diction.
My jurisdiction's been invaded by aliens, sir.
Aliens.
Cody is no more. There is no more Cody.
You will get a predictable response to that. Oh,
Well, relate everything that we know and seen and experienced. We'll also warn them that if they've seen any of those like missile pod things, to be very cautious, and some kind of bug-like, spider-like, whatever has started infesting locales, and this poor fellow here was likely their very next snack.
We don't know. He might be
Yeah, we have
infected,
no idea.
because I saw aliens.
Yeah. You ever seen the movie Aliens? Secreted resin.
If you have a MRI machine, you might want to put him through it.
yeah. Well, if it's a medical facility,
have
they'll
emergency,
probably have a
yep.
generator.
Hell, if they just have an X-ray.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you guys are going to come back here later, and the whole town's going to be webbed up.
And then we're gonna reach the edge and go, well, we told them.
Nope.
And nope.
Full aft incinerators, everybody.
All right. So did you guys have any plans to do anything here?
Just drop the guy off at the clinic to be looked after, and
Find
then
out, find out
refuel.
from them and also find out from them if they've had any contact with anybody else.
Okay, so from the little bit that you've talked to the guys here in charge of Thermopolis, they are as cut off as everybody has been for the most part. They're, except that here they've managed to get some communications here and there, so they were at least aware of the whole Seattle thing. They got some of those transmissions earlier on, but that stuff is mostly stopped by now.
I will provide
Go
a
ahead.
frequency that we have as well, so we can communicate back with them. And then inform them about survivors in Meeteetse.
Right. Do you tell them about the failure of the Air Force?
Look, I'll say the Air Force looks like it's active, but doesn't seem to be having a lot of effect at the moment.
No
I
details.
don't want to strip all hope.
All right, so
you're not going to tell them how the two jets got blown up?
Nope.
So you guys pass
At
on
least
some
I won't.
news and basically move on.
Yep, that's the plan.
All right, moving on then. So let's see. Your next stop. So you'll be going through the canyon, like Mark was saying earlier, which was probably pretty impressive if you weren't running away from aliens.
Not running away.
You pass the reservoir,
Relocating.
and then you guys will arrive outside of Shoshone, which is not a whole lot. Population's like 100 something, I think. Oh, no, 650. This one's a little bigger than Meeteetse. But yeah, still not a whole lot there. Thermopolis was much more happening. And nothing horribly important is going to happen there. You'll probably run into the same situation. You show up there, there are people. You'll stop, you'll talk to them, tell them what's going on. Move on to Riverton, which is a lot more familiar to Highland, at least. Now, in Highland's case, grandfather lives in around Arapahoe, which is one of those little satellite towns of Riverton, just a little bit farther down the road. You have, at the very least, come in and out of Riverton a lot. And Riverton's fairly big. It's, well, comparatively, 10,500 population. And a lot more Indian population here, unsurprisingly. The question I have is, does Heinlein live with grandfather, or does he live here?
How big is Arapahoe?
It's unincorporated, I think. It's not even a real town. Or was it? Did I actually look that up?
Well, if it's that small, then it probably makes the most sense for him to have actually had a, place here.
That would suggest then that he has a house here, so he may have stuff.
Potentially,
or probably
yeah.
an apartment or something, but whatever.
Maybe a rental house or something. Yeah. Hell, I don't know. I the size of this, but yeah, that's true. I'm not sure how much stuff he has. Poor car. He misses his car.
Huh. Okay, apparently I'm wrong about Arapahoe. It's got about $1.50.
Okay, in that case, if it's that much larger, that's probably more where he would have a home.
Well, looking at it in Google Earth, it doesn't look like a whole lot. Certainly compared to Riverton, but I guess there's a little more density there than it looks like. Unless I'm looking at the wrong thing somehow. I don't know where they're hiding. Maybe they're hiding under the bushes. Of course, to be fair, a population of 1,500 is pretty damn small still.
True.
Okay, so once again, you arrive in town. People are curious to see you coming and ask questions. You tell them your story and prepare to move on to grandfather's place. Unless you're planning to stop at Heinlein's place in Arapahoe before going there.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not sure what all he would have, other than maybe ammunition resupply.
Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of. He might have had some guns there that he didn't take with him before. He was going hunting, so he had all his camping gear with him. Well, in the event that those particulars matter, we can deal with that later. We will continue on to grandfather's. It is getting well into the afternoon by now, with all the stopping and talking and stuff. And you go out, and it's, the middle of nowhere. But his grandfather's, Heinlein knows this place very well. Everybody else
you
is
guys
kind
should
of...
stop here.
Actually, James does too.
Yeah, I'm going to have everybody stop outside the fence, and then just me and James are going to go in. At least at first.
So, another background question for Heinlein. Who else lives here?
Let's see. That's a very interesting question.
There are other houses in this little block area, so I think there's one behind the one you see there, and then off in those trees off to the left, there's another house, slightly bigger one. So there are multiple families that live in this area, although they might not all be related.
No, he's gonna live by himself, but I've got a couple cousins that live in the area who are constantly checking in on him and such like that.
Right.
In fact, now that I say that, it probably makes perfect sense for me to live here too.
Well, that's entirely possible.
Because he's been, doing the whole training with them.
All right. So you take James and go up to the house.
He's gonna be in power armor or something, isn't he?
You knocking, or are you just going in?
Well, if I live here,
Since you live here, I guess you don't need to knock.
Live here, I'll break out the key and
So you're going in like you live here, because you do.
Because I live here.
You still having everybody hang out outside?
Yeah, because he's really sensitive about the who's on his land. It's really weird.
All right. Well, you call out for grandfather, and he does not answer.
Hey, old man, where are you at? You check around, making sure to see that there's any secreted resin on the wall.
There is a basement in this house, and you know that he has a tendency to hang out in that basement for whatever reason, and so that's probably
nice
one of the
and cool.
first things you're going to check when you don't hear from him out here.
That is where I'm going to go. I hope he's not doing something creepy.
It's where he smokes his peace pipe.
And as you go down into the basement, you see...
Oh, not again!
Not this time. In his chair where he used to, he's got a rocking chair down here that he hangs out and reads, or whatever it is that old people do down here. He is in his chair. He is not living. In fact, he looks like a mummy. Like he's been mummified.
Wait, what? Just saw
Like
him the other
it's
day.
a corpse, and it's all desiccated.
How the heck did that happen? Damn it. Now I'm looking around for alien bugs in case they did this.
You see no alien bugs in the house. Just the normal ones.
Well, damn it. How is he desiccated? That doesn't make any sense to me.
Desiccated may not be the right word, but definitely mummified. Meanwhile, everybody else is waiting outside.
well, I guess I'm gonna have to go in there and bring everybody else in. Go, well, it didn't work out. Looks like he's dead for some reason.
Kind of scout around the perimeter of the building, see if there's one of those canisters.
I'm
not
going to
see-
pause and I'm going to grab Janet. I'm going to say, come with me. And I'm going to have him take a look at grandfather to see if he doesn't see how he goes, what? Oh, that's normal and blah, 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 blah. Or if he goes, what the fuck?
Huh. When did you last see him?
Sorry, say that again.
So
think
when
that'd
did you last see
be
him?
That'd be how many days has it been since
3 days.
we started? So I guess
Well,
it's
actually 4 now.
yeah, because I
It's
guess it'd be
Tuesday.
the
We
4th
started
day?
on Friday.
Yeah,
It was
I
late-
saw him
late
on Friday.
Huh. Well, to me, it looks like he died about diagnosis years ago.
Let's see. Diagnosis. Let me, because I would probably like you to make another roll on a different skill.
Darn it, I found I was being clever.
Which one? Well, that's still a thing. There's more interpretation to do, though. I wonder which one would be more appropriate with that. I'm just gonna give this to you because it works better. But so you look him over. You see that it, like I said, the body has been mummified in place. Your recent experience with radiation had you reading up on it, and it occurs to you that this actually could be the result of a seriously high dose of radiation.
Huh.
From where?
Like
I'll be sure to
the
pass that along.
skin is hardened.
You didn't happen to bring a Geiger counter with you, huh?
A what? Why?
Well, after our last brush with it, I read up on radiation poisoning, and this fits the bill of like just an absolutely obscenely massive dose.
Hmm. I wonder if that's
But
how
other
I
than
got
that,
radiated.
you don't see any other signs of trauma or illness. In fact, he may have been in perfectly good health other than that.
How would you get this much radiation in one targeted
What?
spot without, like,
Start over.
how would you get so much radiation in one targeted spot without, like, wiping out everyone else out here?
That is an excellent question.
Is there anyone else around here?
Well,
Uh,
maybe the aliens' guns are pretty bad.
Yeah,
Oh, this was
actually,
the wrong time for
since
that
you
joke.
were going around the house looking for the pods, you will have seen that there are other people around here at the other houses, the other residences on this block. They're all kind of looking at you like, "What the hell is he doing out here?"
Well, I would probably, if there's other people, if there are other people around, I might try and get someone's attention and ask if they've been feeling ill since the other night, etc. Any weird symptoms? Anyone else turn up dead that wasn't supposed to be? That kind of thing.
Will you be explaining why you're asking that question?
I don't really see why not. Seeing as it's a pretty big deal, and not telling people about it might put them at risk, and keeping them
And they're
informed
like, and it's like,
gives-
also aliens are invading.
Well,
yeah, and aliens.
as you start going around and you say that grandfather has died, the first reaction of everybody is like, "Wow, finally, dude's old." And then you say how, and he's like, "What?" And so nobody's had any sort of radiation issues that they're aware of. Nobody's been sick necessarily more than usual. They are moderately aware that something's going on right now. There was the whole things shooting down from the sky stuff before, but
Watch out for those.
Yeah, anything that landed nearby.
yeah, do not touch anything alien.
In fact, if you have to touch it, reach out with at range with your choice of caliber.
So at the news that grandfather has died, of course, a lot of the other residents in the area are going to come over and give their condolences and that sort of thing.
I think John is probably sort of shutting down. Because he's had that, back-to-back hits.
Yeah, he is kind of having that kind of day, isn't he? Or that kind of week, I guess.
And simply of his background, he doesn't deal well with death in the family.
For convenience sake, at some point in this process, the four of you and James, and probably the dog, are going to be down in the basement, sort of scratching your heads, trying to figure out what to do about the situation. And James will point out that, hey, that's it looks like Grandpa's no room is unlocked.
What? Really?
And
I'm gonna go in.
You go in there. It's just a closet. He put like guns and stuff in there, things that the kids weren't supposed to mess with. But as you step into the closet, there's a flash of light. Very quick.
Explode.
And at that, you hear the sound of language like an electronic something speaking, but you don't understand what it said. And after it says that, the back of that closet opens. And beyond it, you see some kind of control panel bunker thing.
Huh. Well, I see why you didn't want to let anybody in there.
Cut to black. Cue the music.
Well, I mean, if
Roll
you're going to be
credits.
watching, doing adult stuff, I mean, that would be the screens you want, right?
So you're saying he's watching porn on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 screens at once? 13 different kinds
Whatever
of porn?
suits his fancy.
Although I have officially ended it, I will mention that the electricity is working in here.
Well, that's unusual.
All right.
I don't think my granddad was telling me everything.
Yeah, think.
Does he work for the Men in Black?
Not anymore.
Who knows?
One of the Men in Black.
All right. Let's see.
I already said very, very early. I don't remember what the joke was now, but I had determined
Picture
that
with a girl.
Ronky. Ronky had got my vote for the Benny for the joke, and against Wells.
Right. Well, I was going to suggest he get one because he ended up injured because of playing up a disad, so technically he should get one for that on
Plus,
its own.
he made a joke at Wells's expense, and I thought it was really funny.
Let's see. Anybody else?
Maybe Wells deserves it because he was the butt of the joke.
Oh, God, they were British.
Not British. Just could speak proper English.
Aside from that,
Illiterate.
2 points. 2 points for everybody, as usual.
Yep.
If you want to declare anything before we go, you may.
I'm going to spend one of my points to improve my brawling because I need to actually have better than a crappy 12 because he's a brawler.
Maybe.
He's got a 13. That's probably as high as I'm going to go unless I actually need more.
You never know.
I never know.
I'll increase mechanic since I'm going to need that skill to maxify my vehicles.
Yep, that's going to be a thing.
And maximize my head with mechanic, because how else do you put studs in your face?
Medically?
No, that's a rivet gun.
Ow.
Ow. Ow. Ow. All right. Well.
Okay. Well, if you're watching this and you have questions, corrections, suggestions, or general hecklings, feel free to leave a comment here or find us on Discord. Thank you for watching. Olympus out.
Bye.
Good night, stream.